Live there. Go ahead and run, everybody. Appreciate you guys joining in on my YouTube VJ's Sports Icon Sports Talk Radio Show tonight. We're doing NFL preview. So let me go ahead and get ready to go live on Spreaker.com and iHeartRadio. I appreciate everybody here on my IG. Appreciate everybody here on my YouTube. Sit back, tuck yourself in, get comfortable, get you a little sip, get you a little smoke, and get ready for the best independent sports talk streaming live 2021 NFL draft picks prediction preview that you have seen this season so far. I'm late. I know. I'll explain all of that, though. There's a method to my madness. I play chess. I do not play checkers. Checkers are for kids. Set my pieces up. Take a few of yours. Wait. When it's time to attack, bam! Right on that ass. All right, hold on. I got to go live on radio here. Let's get set up here. We're good to go. So we're going live on iHeartRadio, Spreaker.com in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Live from Hollywood, California, VJ Vernon Husky, the Big Vanilla Funnies, Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Gotta get drunk before the day begins, before my mother, my friends, about to go and damn near went blind. Young niggas at the pad throwing up gang signs. Ran in the house and grabbed my clip with the Mac 10 on the side of my hip. Bailed outside and pointed my weapon. Just as I thought, the fools kept stepping.
What up, everybody, man? Your boy VJ Vernon Husky. Y'all know how I get down here on VJ's Unsportsmanlike Conduct. I have a dominant, just outstanding, stupendous, tremendous, just top-notch sports talk radio show for you guys. I've been gone for about 2 weeks because I got a lot of other things going on. Let's let that easy ride for a second.
Jocking the bitches.
Oh, did he cuss?
Went to the park to get the
did he cuss?
Knuckleheads out there, cold shooting some hoops. A car pulls up, who
right.
can it be?
Y'all know how I gets down, man. VJ's on Sportsmanlike Conduct. I am your host, VJ Vernon Husky, the Big Vanilla Funny, the Big Vanilla Handsome, the Vanilla Shack, the Creamy Kobe, the Blue Eye Barkley, VA's Top Talk Boy, Mr. Never Shut Up, the Big Vanilla Color Card, because sometimes in sports, you got to deal that color card, and when you do, I am your Big Vanilla Vegas sports dealer, man. And I got the color card to deal because we start to see this black and brown quarterback thing I've been talking about for years. It's still prevalent in the NFL. And we'll talk about Mac Jones. We'll talk about my Miami Dolphins. Want to know? I got a special guest too, man. My man, Sage Alvarez. From Twitter, and an outstanding guy that helps a lot of people grow their Twitter in the sports talk realm, man. Big time Raider fan, has his own show coming out, and he's also on Facebook right now pulling double duty. He already did 3 hours of sports talk tonight. He's coming on my show, decided to stay up late with me out here on the West Coast. On the West Coast, we're looking at 11:29 Pacific time, which is what, 1? Was that 12? 2, right? Yeah, so it's 2:39, 2:30, 2:40. a.m. back Eastern. So all y'all asleep, but you'll wake up to the morning, you'll see this, man. I also want to thank everybody who's listening live right now, Spreaker.com and iHeartRadio, and also over here on my Instagram IG. I want to start my opening rant for the 2021 NFL football season by saying I believe this will be a history-changing season. This is either going to be the year where there's going to be somebody who's going to be like concrete solidified as the GOAT, probably NFL player of all time. This is the year we're going to find out if you can draft smaller, fast, RPO, black and brown quarterbacks in the top 10 and still get them to succeed in the NFL and take your team at least to a divisional round conference championship. Of course, we all want the Lombardi. We all want the Super Bowl. We all want that Sunday, that 51 million people or 500 million people, 400, 350. It doesn't matter. Like The Rock used to say, it doesn't matter how many people, but it's the most watched single game in the history in every year, not in the country, not in the hemisphere, in the world. Everybody wants to get there. Is this going to be the year that we're going to see Trey Lance, Justin Fields? You already have Tua Tagovailoa. You already have Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, who's already won an MVP. right? Russell Wilson's kind of already done his thing, but he don't really like to, call himself one of us. He don't really like to be considered one of the bros. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Pat Mahomes, always half and half. Yeah, but he got a Karen, he got a Becky. So I think you lose points. I think you lose points on that. Probably best quarterback in the league right now, just off of sheer talent. Will this be the year that we finally realize that the running back position in the NFL is gone? It's gone. Yeah, it's still on paper. It still says RB1, RB2, and RB3. It still says that. Is that really what it is? I mean, in the NBA and basketball today, it still says C or the 5. Are they really centers anymore? Are they really 5s? Are these guys really just running backs anymore? Have we seen the last of the bell cow? 25 carry, 26 carry, 27 carry, 380, 390 carry guy, 400 carry guy. Consistently, 2 or 3 guys, maybe 4 in the NFL ever again. Is this the year that we realize that's done? Is this the year that a defense steps up and takes that quarterback that's kind of deserving, doesn't have all the offensive weapons, but in his career now, all of a sudden, he's got the offensive weapons and he's got a defense to turn the entire narrative about his career? Matthew Stafford, Los Angeles Rams quarterback. I said last week on another show, he could change and erase every year in Detroit in one season in Los Angeles. They have the defense. You got the weapons. Woods, Cooper Kupp, Higbee, 2 running backs, D-Jacks. You got the weapons. Everybody thinks this the NFC West is super hard. It's going to be a super hard division. It looks like everybody can score, but I still got to see Seattle's defense. I still got to see San Francisco. They played Detroit, and they gave up 33 to Detroit. Say what you want to say. Kittle, even on the outside of the kick, Kittle ball hits him in his face. And let me just interject right there, too. I know I am past week 1 of my preview. I got a lot going on. I'm doing a lot. I recorded a preview. Didn't like the way it sounded. Didn't like the way it came out. It was like 3 in the morning after being up repeatedly to 3 and 4 a.m. for like 6 straight days. Didn't like the way it sounds. Thought I'd get back on to do another live show and try it again. So none of my predictions were affected by week 1. So I just want to put that disclaimer out there. And as I make my predictions, got them all right here. You'll understand and you'll see. That could be backed up on the Break Room podcast with my man Tiberius, a.k.a. Kenny. I was on his show. Said some of the same stuff that I'll say today. I've also been on a bunch of Twitter stuff. Sage is watching right now. Sage knows I've been on a bunch of Twitter stuff. My opinions don't change that fast. Week 1 is not a week where I'm going to judge the league, but it is a week that I would say there are takeaways from week 1. But also to go back with, I think it's coming out of this season too. Do we finally see a year where there's a certain coach who we know is good, but his quarterback kind of got more credit than he did, but now he's got a new quarterback, and they just blew out a team that has gone to 3 straight NFC championship games. Hot and humid in Jacksonville. I get it. Weren't prepared to be playing in that kind of heat. You should be dehydrated and hydrated as a pro athlete anyway. I don't want to hear that shit. Saints smashed the Packers. And the Packers will be one of my teams. I'll give you a little tease right here. The Packers will be one of my teams. I'll tell everybody they'll be fine. Relax. It's only week 1. But I didn't see this coming from Sean Payton and famous Jameis Winston. I love famous Jameis. I've been a famous Jameis fan since he was coming out of high school. I call high school games, so therefore I follow high school football across the nation, not just in Southern California. So I remember he's coming out of school and how good he was. Goes to Florida State, redshirt freshman, wins the national championship, wins the Heisman. Number 1 overall draft pick. He's got all the tools. Tampa, I get it. Didn't work out. Led the league in interceptions. Threw like 30-something interceptions one year. But in that same year, them 30 interceptions, he also threw for over 5,000 yards. I don't want to hear word behind you. You got to throw a lot of, yeah. Ryan Fitzpatrick is behind a lot. He didn't throw for 5,000 yards. He's only thrown for 4,000 yards once, I believe. Oh, by the way, he's hurt. Redskins, another takeaway from this weekend. Football watching team, whatever the hell y'all calling yourself nowadays. Another takeaway for this weekend, relax. You're fine. You're better with Heineke. Trust me on this. But this year, I think there's going to be so much that we are going to learn about the NFL and that we are going to, it's going to change history and the way we view history. If Tom Brady takes the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to another Super Bowl and wins another Super Bowl, that means he would have played in 11 and he has won 8. I'm sorry. He is the undoubtable quarterback GOAT of all time. And any type of logical discussion is just kind of asinine. Like, oh God, well, Joe Montana, when he was 4-0 and didn't throw an interception in the postseason. Okay. Joe Montana also got stuck by Leonard Marshall in the conference championship game that changed the health of his career. Tom Brady's been smart enough to get down, run out of bounds, slide, fall, just take the sack, lay down. Tom Brady's like 54 years old. Like, his son's now a ball boy. You just don't you don't really get that, right? In the NFL nowadays, you don't see guys who teenage sons or preteen sons are ball boys for their team. Back in the day when they used to do it, a kid be like 8 or 9 years old and would come to training camp and the practices. Wasn't allowed on the sideline of the game because you're too young for that. Sounds like 13, 14, I believe, right? He's a ball boy. That shows you how old Tom Brady is. He would undoubtedly be the GOAT. He would have changed the course of history. Peyton Manning, who came in the league before Tom Brady, is already retired and doing Monday Night Football with a too small helmet on his big-ass fucking head. And Tom Brady last Thursday night opened the season, put 30 on the board, hit Gronk a couple of times, hit Godwin a couple of times, hit Antonio Brown a couple of times. Like, Peyton's already sitting down. Drew Brees is already sitting down. Tom's still playing, like him or not. That could be something that could change the course. Maybe Mahomes wins another Super Bowl. Maybe the Bills get it together and can be the team that people are predicting them to be. Josh Allen wins a Super Bowl this year, changes Buffalo. He would have done what Jim Kelly had 4 opportunities to do. 4. He would have accomplished that in 2 good years. And it wouldn't be his second year. I think this year is his 4th or 5th year. But the back-to-back good years. And that second year, got to Super Bowl and won one. Jim Kelly went 4 straight times in a row. Johnson, the quarterback, Rob Johnson, that wore the white headband, the little tie-around torn T-shirt headband. Doug Flutie, Peterson, E.J. Manuel. Think of all the Buffalo quarterbacks that have been there. Didn't win a Super Bowl. Jim Kelly went to 4 straight, lost all 4. Josh Allen wins one? One thing I can say that I know for sure is going to also happen this year, Jets, Jags, Falcons, they'll all still be bad. They'll all be drafted in the top 3, top 4, not unless the team trades in or trades out. I didn't have to watch week 1 to understand what the lines were going to be. I didn't have to watch week 1 to understand what the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be. And Atlanta Falcons, that was a shock that they would let Philadelphia come down there. And even though I'm going to talk about Jalen Hurts later in the show because I like Jalen Hurts, I believe in Jalen Hurts, and I still say Devontae Smith is a little lame to ask for me, but the kid can run routes. He's got great hands. He's a professional. If he learns to get down and not take a lot of hits, he is the next Marvin Harrison. We could be seeing the next Marvin Harrison and the next Tyreek Hill type player coming into the league right now. The Tyreek Hill player would be Jalen Waddle. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, and I don't really believe it yet myself. But if I'm looking at it just optimistically and objectively at the same time, if you can do that, I see a guy that's, if he gets in the open field, he's that fast. Like, he's got that type of speed. Can he stay healthy? Already had the foot. Then there was an ankle or a hammy. But he suited up week 1 and played. He's a tough kid. He showed he's a tough kid. He suited up and played in the national championship game and was limping at one point. We show you he's going to be tough. He ain't going to be no Rudy poop. You know what I'm saying? He ain't going to be no candy ass. It's like Devontae Parker. People, he's always hurt. He's always hurt. Yeah, but he still suits up and plays, and he still has 7 catches for 81 yards. Or, I mean, Sunday against the Patriots, 6 catches, 67 yards, 69 yards. Waddle has 61. That's 120 between those 2 guys right there. Imagine we can get them both over 80. Now we're at 160 with just those 2 guys. I didn't even talk about Fuller coming back from the 1-game suspension that he got suspended for last year for this weekend again, home division game early in the year against those Buffalo Bills that a lot of people have kind of up here. You switch over to the NFC. I look at the NFC East. The most interesting conference is the NFC East. Because I said Washington doesn't have a quarterback before Fitzpatrick, a.k.a. Juggles. When he was the quarterback, I said Washington's got a great defense and a good running back. And then got some good receivers. Logan Thomas, former quarterback from Virginia Tech, turned into a really good tight end in the league. Got a big contract this offseason. Expect big things for him. They don't have a quarterback. Because their quarterback is Ryan Fitzpatrick, a.k.a. Juggles. But now with Heineke in there, things could be different. The Giants preseason bet was a plus 375 for them to win the division. 1,000 would get you almost $5,000. It was a no-brainer. It was the easiest and it was the safest bet that you could take. And the reason why I did take that bet is simply because last year they don't won a division. In a bad division, I know Dallas didn't have Dak, but guess what with Dallas? They still give up 30 points. Oh, quick sidebar today. 2 defenders. 1 out for the year, 1 out for 8 weeks. So there we go right there in the defense. Already Lionel Collins suspended 4 games for smoking trees. So there goes your left tackle or your right tackle, whatever position he plays on that line. No Zach Martin that past Thursday night. It's getting bad for Dallas already. Zeke looks like a wide receiver. It went vegan. He looks lean as hell, and they had the blue jerseys on. He looks super lean. He don't run the same anymore. I still think the Giants will be okay, but I also believe in Denver. So what happened to them on Sunday, and we'll get more into that. What happened to them on Sunday? One of the surprise for me, you can see my picks right here. We'll go through them. Y'all see that? Y'all see, there you go. They're gonna like see all them picks right there. Bam. I made my picks this past weekend. Like I had them. I love the spread, but I like them as a surprise AFC playoff team. I love their schedule. Their first 9 games, they could be 6-3. You can't get to the playoffs at 6-3. Something's wrong. 3 more wins put you at 10-7. Somebody's going to get in from the NFC or the AFC at 10-7 this year. Somebody is. Everybody's not going, 15-2 and 14-3 and 13-4. It's going to be there's going to be some 9-7 and 8-8 teams really fighting the last 2 weeks. Once we get to that 15-game mark, you watch what I tell you, some teams sneaking in. I have all my records. I have all my playoff teams. I got everybody seeded, got all the playoff teams, everybody seeded. We're going to go through all of it, man. But in just my opening rant, I really want to touch on just what we really could see in this season. We're coming back from COVID. There's fans. It feels different. Same with college football. It feels kind of different, but it's what we already had before. Maybe COVID just made us appreciate it more because we didn't have it. We couldn't go. I know concession prices are up the yin-yang because they're making up for last year. This guy went to a Dodger game. A friend of mine was like, dude, beers are 18. I said, yeah, they got to make up for that money they missed last year. You want this beer or not? You want this beer or you don't? Next. It's 18 beans, homie. Let's go. 2 beers at a game? You drinking 4. A Dodger game is a top 5 price game. I think their tickets is like number 3 as far as prices. Average price is like $1.12. Or $1.13, something like that for a Dodger game. And I've been to plenty of them, but I went like 2 and 3, 4 or 5 years ago when I first moved back to Los Angeles. I went to a shitload of them, but the tickets were not that expensive. I found playoff tickets against the Cardinals in the NLDS in game 2, I believe it was. Yeah, game 2, Greinke and I forget who the Cardinals put on the bump, but game 1 was Kershaw and Wainwright. And I wanted to go to that game, but I couldn't get a ticket. I couldn't get off from work. But they ended up giving one got pulled in the 3rd. Kershaw got pulled in the 4th. I was like, oh, I'm glad I didn't go to that one. I wanted to see this great pitchers duel. The following night, it scores 3-1. It was a pitchers duel. And then Matt Kemp hit a home run in the 8th inning to win that game. So I've gotten tickets for $62 to go to a playoff game. You can't do that nowadays. They're making up for the prices, but it makes it feel like it's back. College football, the bands, the students, the cheerleaders, the teams running over to the student section to sing their alma mater with them or jump up on the wall and sit on the wall with them if you're Michigan. And hell to the victors, violent, hell to the concrete heroes, hell. It's back. The NFL, it was popping in week 1. I just smiled. I watched almost every game. I watched almost every NFL game. I DVR all of them. I have the package so I can DVR every last one of them. And sometimes I get 2 or 3 days pass by. But if it's still on my DVR, I'm not doing anything. Clean the kitchen, cooking, doing some schoolwork, chilling with Cameron, my son, just hanging around the crib. I'll put a game on. Last night, I watched the Giants game and I watched the Jacksonville game. Trevor Lawrence, he is the man. He's been the man. There's no mistaking about Trevor Lawrence. But he plays for Urban Meyer. It's what I've been telling you people for years and years and years. In college, you're able to cheat and get away with it. In the NFL, you got a straight-up coach. I like Nick Saban. He's great what he does down there at Alabama. But let's not forget, couldn't cut it in the NFL. Steve Spurrier won a national championship, had all these great players, but honestly, a lot of them didn't pan out in the league. Jacques Green was a monster in the slot and out wide, little guy, but could catch the ball, and he was a great route runner, and he was fast. Playing with Danny Warfel, Heisman Trophy winner, Pray to the Lord after every touchdown pass. Danny Warfel. Florida loved them, a praying Christian white quarterback. I just thought about that because they had Timothy. I call him Timothy, not Tim Tebow. I call him Timothy because that's who he is. You're Timothy. Tim Tebow's a football player. You're not a football player anymore. You are Timothy. A lot to look forward to this season, man. So I don't want to keep rating, man. I know my man Sage is watching. Sage, go ahead and hit the link and jump on in player. I'll check my text messages. Anybody hit me up. I want to thank everybody that is watching me live on my YouTube. We got some comments over here. So let me jump over in the comment section. Everybody on radio, you guys know how I do. Just bear with me. Let me see. Packers go. Yo, said, can you drop the link maybe? Oh, yeah, I can drop the link, homie. Send me your email. Matter of fact, if you want to come in, yeah, I'll drop the link for you, player. You want to come in? See, we got open policy here on VJ's Unsportsmanlike Conduct. You know what I'm saying? There's an open policy. Anybody want to jump on? There's the link right there, homeboy. Packers go. You still watching? Come on in here, player. You can talk. But my man Sage is about to jump in. Sage, if you're watching, when you get this going, jump in. Tiberius, yo, Kenny, you want to jump on? Let's go, fam. Everybody go. Listen, go to the YouTube right now. Go to VESSA Sports. Let's open this up. I'm going freestyle. Let me show y'all how nice I am with this. That I can convert. I can like just totally advert my plan. Still getting everything I want to talk about and how I want to talk about it, and bring in guests and let people come in and chill, man, and do what we do here on VJ's Unsportsmanlike Conduct. So anybody go to my YouTube channel right now, VESSA Sports. If you go to the comment section, the link is in the comment section. Matter of fact, here, I'll do it again. Just so cats can say, oh, man, I ain't see it, B. I ain't see it. There's the link. Anybody want to jump in? Jump in. Make sure you're lit well and make sure your sound is good. So let me go through my playoff teams. Let's start with this right here. I think this is a good way to go because I'll start with my playoff teams and then we'll work our way back through the season. I'm going to cover every team. I'm going to give every record for every team, guys. I'm telling you who's making the playoffs, who's not making the playoffs. And like I said, none of this is affected by week one. I have some stats I want to throw out about certain teams and then tough games. I think scheduling has a lot to do a lot of times with how your season turns out. Everybody knows that, right? So you got to look at the schedules too. So we'll talk about some of the team schedules and we'll just go from there, all right? So let me just start with my playoff teams and how I see things seed out. I'll start with the NFC. In the NFC, I like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to finish with the number one seed in the NFC, have home field advantage in the NFC, and that's because I think the defense is great. Now, they have some injuries on the back end. They got some injuries on the back end with their safety in their corner, and that's where they're thinnest as far as having experience. I know Richard Sherman's name is still out there, and I'm pretty sure there's practice squad players or some DB somewhere we don't know about that can get picked up and get put on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but their front seven is going to be vicious. Vita and Ndamukong Suh, the 1-2 punch at the tackles is outstanding. They got JPP who can still get around the end. Amazing, right? Sidebar, Chandler Jones, week 1, 5 sacks. Wow. In an IDP league, yeah, I got him. I don't know why somebody else didn't pick him up. I actually went to some other people that's in my league. Was like, how did you saw me just put up 280 in my league? I beat my opponent by 140. And you guys gonna let me on the IDP league pick up Chandler Jones? Well, it's 5 sacks. How many Sundays could he have that? Well, it don't matter. That means he's got a few 2 or 3 sack Sundays in him. I'll take them over the IDP players you have. Straight up and down. Yo, Tiberius, if you still watching, I saw you had a nice lead, bro. What happened? When I went back to check all the records, and also to everybody that's in my Big Vanilla Handsome Sports VESSA Sports, that's the name of it too. My Big Vanilla Handsome Sports Fantasy League. The awards and everything ought to be out in the next week or two. So, but moving on, when I look at the NFC, I got the Bucs at number 1. Packers, I got at number 2. I think the Packers are number 2. And to finish up about the Bucs, we'll get more into it. I could have went to Brady and all of that, but we're going to talk about that as we go through the divisions. The Packers, I have at the 2 seed. The Rams, I have at the 3 seed. The New York Giants with the plus 375, 1,000 up will get you almost $5,000 on your return. That's a very, very powerful bet. It's a very easy bet, and it's a very smart bet. And if you got $1,000, to get 5 back, scare money don't make none. Scare money don't make none. So then every now and then you got to look at something and you got to judge what it's up against, and then you got to put your bird up. But I got the Giants winning that division, and I got them with the number 4 seed. I got the Niners with the 5 seed. I think the offense and the defense are both healthier this year and more balanced. Garoppolo's playing for his life, but they're already playing Trey Lance. You see that? Think about it. Trey Lance and Justin Fields, who aren't starters, ran and threw for touchdowns this weekend. Oh, by the way, Tua Tagovailoa ran for a touchdown, threw for a touchdown. Who you throw it to? Jalen Waddle. Good fall, hard game. Needed that, man. Also, quick sidebar, another one, by the way. Cam Newton, he took that Patriots team and won game 1 last year against the same Dolphins team with Ryan Fitzpatrick, a.k.a. Juggles, and Mac Jones, Big Mac tonight, whatever the hell they calling him. He couldn't muster no more than 16 points. 16 points against this same Dolphin team who Cam Newton had 3 rushing touchdowns against and beat last year in this exact same week 1. So back-to-back years, both teams had all off-season and all OTAs and all mini camp and all rookie camp, involuntary, voluntary, mandatory, training camp, preseason games that know they were playing the Dolphins and the Patriots. And last year, Cam Newton, who was in camp this year with them, went in that game and beat them. This year, Mac Jones, who replaced Cam Newton, was supposed to be their new savior, scored 16 points and lost at home. To a quarterback, same team with a quarterback who most people are calling a bust. I mean, you can't make this shit up. I'm sorry. I'm hashtagging ahead of the curve again. Ahead of the curve. VJ's ahead of the curve. ... Again. Ryan Fitzpatrick, give me a break. Vikings with the number 6 seed. They should have won game 1. That's fine. Like I said, I'm not going to judge any of my predictions off of game 1. These were already written down before the season even started. Cowboys at number 7 because I think that division does get 2 teams in. But I will say this, the Eagles probably could be in some mix for that. And Washington would too. Like I said, the NFC East is the most interesting division in football every year. It always comes down to the last game, the last quarter, the last drive for like the 20 of the last 25 years. That's what that division is. Very rarely is a team that runs away with it. Teams are winning this division when it was 16 games at 9-7, 10-6. Washington won it when RG3 was a rookie at 10-6, and they had to beat Minnesota on the last day, and it was an RG3 like 68-yard scramble up the sideline, turned on the Jets, rookie Heisman Trophy winner, scored that touchdown and won that game. They had a home playoff game, lost to Seattle. He tore his knee on a bad field, never the same player again. That division's tough. So I think they'll get 2 teams, Cowboys at the 7. And then I got the Seahawks with the 8th seed in the NFC. I think that division also gets 2 teams, but I really want Arizona to be one of those teams. But last year they started out 6-3, and they started out hot, and they would have to change that for me to think different. Flip over to the AFC stage. I see you in there. Bring you in a second, brother. Turn over to the AFC real quick, and I'll go through these just all the way through. We'll bring Sage in. Then we're going to hit all of this stuff, man. Chiefs 1, Browns 2, Titans 3 because of their division. Dolphins 4, win their division. Ravens 5, Bills 6, 2 out of the AFC East get in. Colts 7, still feel what I feel about them. Don't care about week 1. And the Broncos are my surprise playoff team that no one talked about all offseason. And everybody wanted Aaron Rodgers there. And they also have a black quarterback that's been jet set it off by a few squads. Now, the injury to Jared Jeudy does hurt, but it just means KJ Hamler needs to step up, the second-year guy at Penn State. Sutton's back from his injury. Believe he had 60-something yards catch. Melvin Gordon looks like he's not ready to give this position up to Devontae Williams out of North Carolina, the rookie running back, the 2,000-yard tandem running backs down there. So I still like them, love the defense, and I love Teddy Bridgewater. Always have, man. My NFC championship game is the Rams and Tampa. My AFC championship game is a rematch of week 1 between the Browns and the Chiefs. My Super Bowl, saying it right now, right here, I will not change it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if I'm right, I don't hear nobody picking these 2. I got the Rams and the Browns in the Super Bowl. The Browns show they can win in Arrowhead, but I like the fact they've lost the last 2. They got to go back there in January again. Trust me, that'll be the one they'll pull out. If you follow trends, first 2, that third, that rubber match normally goes to the team that's lost that 2. So I like them in the Super Bowl. So without further ado, man, bring in my homie. As I said, Sage Alvarez. He's over on Twitter. You guys got to check him out at Saged Up over there. Saged ED. I call him Seasonings because I like to give people just little weird nicknames that if they ever hear, he'll be 50 years old and he's somewhere at a barbecue and somebody go, yo, Seasonings. He gonna go, VJ, what the fuck? I haven't seen him. Who the hell called? Because I'm the only one who calls him Seasons, man. He does a great job bringing everybody more followers on Twitter, man. And he's a big-time Raider fan and really knows his sports. And he's actually lit well this time, guys. So I got to bring him in, man. My man, Sage Alvarez, too. VJ's on Sport Like Conduct with Spreaker.com.
Hey, how's it going, BJ?
What's up, Pimp Juice?
Man, doing good, man. You know, just putting in that work today, bro. On my hour 5 now, bro. Just did 4 hours today, so going on hour 5 now on Sports Talk today, bro. Putting in that work, bro.
Now, here's the thing. Normally, I would I would say something like, yeah, bro, welcome to the club. I do it, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? I'm going to take the high road today, and I'm going to just applaud you for putting in that work because you and I have talked a lot on professional level and on a personal level. You feel me? Things we've shared with each other personally, we would never say on the air because those were VJ and Sage just hollering at each other as homies, that SoCal homies out here just rapping. But we've also talked a lot of sports, and you are connected to a lot of guys over on Twitter, and you do a great job. So I'm glad you finally on the mic. I've been telling you for like a year now, man, get your ass on the mic. I just want to be ready, man, bro, man. Fuck ready. Ain't no ready, man. Get on the mic, bro. You see this right here? This right here? This is where it's at, man. So how'd you let's go with my picks right now as far as conference. You got all your playoff NFC and AFC teams?
Off the top of my head, I got my conference winners.
Okay, give me your conference. Give me your NFC conference championship game.
All right, so my AFC, I got the AFC East. I got Miami Dolphins winning that. And I got the AFC North. I got the Cleveland Browns. And I got the AFC South, Tennessee Titans. And then I got the AFC West. You're gonna be surprised by this. You're gonna be shocked.
Don't you fuck Sage? Don't you fucking do it?
I'm going with the Chiefs.
You better had to pick the Chiefs, right? I knew that was a setup, but I just had to go for the comedic. I had to go for the comedic flair right there, man. All right. So you and I both agree on all of our AFC division conference winners. We're 4 for 4 there. Tell me about your NFC side.
So NFC East, I got Dallas Cowboys. I think they take it easily as long as Dak stays healthy this year. NFC North, even though they put up one of the most embarrassing performances, I'm not backtracking on them. I wrote it down too on my paper last week too. It was Green Bay Packers, okay. And I got sick with them through the good and the bad because it was ugly this past week. And then we got NFC South. Tampa Bay, they're going to win that. And I got NFC West. I got the Seahawks. I think I heard you talking about the defense. They haven't improved anything. I think they'll step up. That's my belief. I believe that they will step up and they will win. They'll win this division. Cardinals will be breathing on their neck till the last week. And they're both been lost.
All right. And is that all? Yep, that's all your division. Okay, so we only 2 for 4 on that side. That side got the Bucks, Packers, Rams, and the Giants. The Rams defense is the best defense in that division. They have the best corner in that division. They have the best D tackle in that division. And this might surprise you. They have the best quarterback in that division. Now they do. And I'm going to tell you something, man. And I'm going out on a super. I'm all in on the Rams. I haven't picked a Super Bowl winner. Just my Super Bowl is Rams and Browns. I'm all in on the Rams to go all the way to the Super Bowl because I want to go to it. I have my credential by then. We're going to the game, dog, and it's out here at SoFi. And LA will be sick for those 7 days. It'll be sick for those 7 days. I want to be part of that shit. Okay, so I need the Rams to get there, but Matthew Stafford will erase every year in Detroit. There are certain players, Sage, that when they come from a certain team, and if they haven't won, I always think in every sport you have to tie the city to it some way. Because we could say, well, man, he was in LA, he couldn't even win with the Lakers, or he was here, he couldn't even win. So if you come from Cleveland, Cincinnati, the Royals, some of these bad teams in pro sports, the Jags. Like people were like, "Oh, Jalen Ramsey, he wasn't so. I mean, he's so great. That why the Jags?" It's like, bro, put him on a better team and then let's talk. Put him on a better team and let's talk. He don't play offense, but when you're coming from Detroit, you got to kind of say, "Well, yeah, dog, he was in Detroit." When you're coming from Cleveland for about 20 years, you had to kind of say, "Cincinnati, right?" Carson Palmer would have had a much better career if he didn't play in Cincinnati. It's Ocho would have had a much bigger career if he didn't play in that carries it. So I feel some players can get out of those bad cities, and I think Matthew Stafford is one of them, man. I'm all in the NFC on the Los Angeles Rams.
They definitely have the right formula. You think that it's only the offense? I think the defenses are just as strong in the NFC West, and that's where the Rams and the Rams. I think they all three make the playoffs, in my opinion.
There's a lot of people that feel
the Niners are getting left out. I think with the Trey Lance, it's going to cause too much friction in a conference where you have like this small, you know what I'm saying, the margin of error. And the Niners are going to be the team that gets left out. They start the next year with Trey Lance as a starting QB going forward. The Seahawks, to me, with Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, they have the right formula on offense. The offense is fine. The defense is going to step up to where I think the Rams offense this year, give Stafford another year. I think he needs another year in that system. I think at times they're gonna expose the Rams, and you could disagree with me or not. I don't think the Rams. I think the Rams get exposed.
They own Seattle, bro.
We'll find out.
They own Seattle. They run down Russell Wilson like a fat man at the Krispy Kreme, homeboy. They run him that they own Seattle. If you want to tell me maybe San Fran, listen, I wanted to be the Cardinals. I saw this last year, though. They started 6-3. I saw this last year. They started 6-3, and then they fell apart. Miami, we went out there and beat them. Miami went out there and put 34 up on the board, man. So Packers GOAT want to jump into. I'll bring you in a second. Hold tight, homeboy. I'll bring you in, man, and let you talk for a little bit. Open forum, man. Y'all know how I do, man. Open forum on BJ's on Sportsmanlike Conduct. I don't care who you are. If you suck, I'll let you say what you got to say, and then you got to go. I don't cut off. I don't interrupt it. We know if you suck. That's all.
It's true.
Yeah, we'll let you finish very politely.
After the.
All right, thanks for joining in, man. I appreciate you because I got the mouse, right? You see this right here? Like this points and clicks and shit. Y'all know how computers work. So, all right, so that's your those are your division teams. I got all my wild cards. My wild cards are Ravens, Bills, Colts, and Broncos. Love the Broncos. And my wild cards in the NFC, Niners, Vikings, Boys, and Seahawks. So being that you have 3 out of 1 division, I'm assuming your one team that just wins their division and is the only playoff team is going to be the NFC North. Am I right about that?
Yeah, we're going to NFC North.
Because I know you don't think the Bears or the Lions are going to the playoffs, so you don't feel the Vikings either.
The Vikings, they have an extra team this year. They might get that. The Vikings might get in with the extra team. A normal year, I would probably have them out. I think the defense isn't going to. I think we're so expecting the Vikings from 2 years to show up. I think we think they're going to heal from their injuries. I think the Vikings defense isn't going to show up, and they're still developing. So they might get the last playoff spot, or they're my team out.
You talk about the Seahawks, man. So let's get deeper to some of these teams here, bro. So you talk about the Seahawks, and I'm looking at I have 4 or 5 like closer, really tough games for each team. And for the Seahawks at the Colts, first of their 6. On some of I think it's like their first 6 or their first 8 or 9 are on the road. So they're at the Vikings. They get the Titans at home. They're at San Francisco. They're at the Steelers. And I know the Steelers won that game, but one of my takeaways from week 1 is don't buy the Steelers, but also don't buy the Bills either. So I just think it was one of those games. Neither offense did shit. The block punt kind of changed and won the game. one each threw a touchdown pass. Big Ben and Josh, and that was it. So and then they have a game against the Rams. So their first 6 games at the Colts, they could probably get that one. At Minnesota, at San Fran, at the Steelers, and Titans and Rams at home. I mean, shit. I'm seeing 3-3 right here. Before you and I get going, man, let me bring in Packer Goat here, man. Packer Goat, you hear what we talking about, bro? So when I bring you in, let us know. And he's on audio. Okay, so we got you on audio, man. So Packer Goat, welcome to VJs on Sportsmanlike Conduct, Spreaker.com. You're live on like 4 platforms right now. Talk to us, homeboy. What's your beef?
What up, y'all? So, I was gonna ask, was that Packer game a fluke? You think?
Say that again.
I said, was that Packer game a fluke?
Was the Packer game a fluke?
Go ahead, Sage. I'll let you take that first. I got an opinion, but I'll let Sage go first.
It is definitely a fluke. So to me, but not just a fluke. Let's also acknowledge how pathetic the Packers' performance was before we go into calling it a fluke, because it was a fluke. They're not gonna. That's not gonna be the Packers next week even. But let's not from start to finish.
It better not be they play Detroit. It better not be they play Detroit. So it better not be them next week.
That'd be an ugly loss. If they lost that, then you might see Aaron gone by trade deadline if they lose that game. That's a must win.
Thanks for coming in, Packer Go. We appreciate you, brother.
No problem.
I'm gonna say no, it wasn't a fluke for 2 reasons. Aaron Rodgers, who I like a lot, I call him Discount Double Check. That's my guy, man. I like him a lot. I think he might have bit himself in the ass on this one by letting it be known that I'll never play for you guys again and coming back now. It's like, so we can't really believe anything he says. So we can agree on that. We know this kind of wink rework of the contract means this is his last year there. And I'm not saying he's throwing games or anything like that, but it was very uncharacteristic the way he played. I've never seen him play like that. And even his worst moments, he didn't play and look like that. And I think it has affected the team because the team didn't play well. Not just Discount Double Check. The team didn't play well. They let my man, Famous Jameis, a.k.a. Crab Legs, throw 5, like LeBron, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5 touchdown passes, only like 148 yards. Kamir, Alvin, hit the Hulk, looks good, looks healthy. Don't look like they're missing Michael Thomas. So I don't think it was a fluke that this won't be them. I still say Ravens, Packers, Browns, they're fine. They lost early. They're fine. But it doesn't mean that they won't finish 11-6 and get bounced in the divisional round. Don't mean that. They're not a lock to me to the conference championship game this year. I don't have them in my conference championship game already. My conference championship game is the Rams in Tampa. It's not the Packers anyway. So I don't think they're better than a divisional round game anyway. So I will say that I don't think it's a fluke, Packer Goat. This could be a sign. I still think they're a 10-11 win team, but this could be a sign that the clock will be ticking down. It'll be Joe Bucket, Troy Aikman on the Sunday in the divisional round. A-Rod will be on the bench with a hat on because his day's done, and another team will be taking the victory snaps, and you'll start and people will say, all right, so what's next for Aaron Rodgers? Is this it? Is we ever going to blah, 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 blah? It'll kind of be like, damn, his last year there didn't go so well. Remember, Brett Favre's last year there, they got to a conference championship game. He threw the pick in overtime that lost the game. Last pass he ever threw was a Packer. So I think it kind of has that type of sense to it. Still a 10 or 11 win team, brother, but
I agree with that.
Fluke, no, because this might be who they are. You know what I'm saying? Last year, think about it. Last year, the Tampa game, right? On Sunday, the national 4:15 Eastern game, they just laid an egg down there, right? He played and then people go, Aaron Rodgers has once told us, RELAX, relax, right? So we've seen parts of his career where they have just a shit performance, and they still are going to be 11, or at that time, 11, 12 win team, but they didn't win any Super Bowls. They didn't even go back to any Super Bowls, right? So that's why I say it's not a fluke, and I think we need to start getting more credit. I think this will be the year that we look at shine. I was wrong. I thought they'd be a 6 or 7 win team. I think I'm wrong on that, though, now. This might be the year we give Sean Payton his real flowers. Like, oh, maybe it wasn't Drew. Because think about it. Drew got let go by the Chargers. They drafted Phillip Rivers over him for him to start. That's how he got ushered out of there. Saban can say he wanted him all he wanted for Miami instead of taking Culpepper. But if the front office believed it, it wasn't going to be up to Saban any damn way. So there were two franchises that kind of looked at Drew like, nah, right? We'll go with Phillip and we'll go with Culpepper. Well, the Culpepper move was wrong, but that doesn't mean that the Breeze move would have been right. He kind of gets to New Orleans and Sean Payton sitting right there. And what he's done with Jameis, we'll see. But if they go 11-6, man, as Jameis is their starting quarterback and go to the playoffs, we might have to start looking at Sean Payton like, oh, he's him, Andy, Bill. Those are the three. Those are the guys in the as far as the league right now. Talk to me. What else you got? I like having you on Packers Go. What else you got for us? You got anything else, or is that it?
I would probably do my playoff picks, like the division and stuff. So
sure, go ahead. You got some division teams for us? Go ahead, brother.
Yep. For the NFC, I got the NFC East. They got the football team. I got the Redskins winning that. For the NFC South, I got the Panthers actually.
The Panthers.
Yep.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Was that serious? Was that? Are you joking us, man? Are you fooling us, man? Huh? You trying to cut a joke on us, man? No, go ahead. All right. Hey. Well, okay. So let's pause right there.
Are you a big CMC fan at least?
How is Sam Darnold winning that division? Just tell me that.
I'm just looking at the schedule and it's very easy. I can see them winning.
Okay.
That.
All right, no problem, brother. Go ahead with the rest of your divisions.
And then for the NFC North, I got the Packers. And then for the NFC West, I got the Cardinals winning that.
Okay. So you agree with him on the Cardinals too, man. You got a Super Bowl champion yet?
Yeah, I do. I got the Cardinals winning the Super Bowl.
So so you have the Panthers winning the NFC South, and you have my man Kyler Murray and my man D Hops. That would be kind of messed up, right? What a year for Larry Fitzgerald to not want to come back. That's Tiki Barber all over again, right?
Yeah,
he'll come back. He'll come back.
Of course. If he'll come back. All right, so you got the Cardinals. Who are the Cardinals beating out of the AFC then? If the Cardinals are going to Super Bowl, who are they beating?
Buffalo.
Okay. I've seen some people pick Buffalo. I'm not going front. Your Panthers pick is wild as hell. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
That pick's wild as shit. I don't care about the schedule. Sage, I'm going to look at the schedule. Go give your opinion on that one, Sage.
Man, where do we begin? I'm almost kind of stuck on the Panthers. I'm trying to think. I like their defense. The defense gives me a little hope, but it's just Sam Darnold. I'm struggling with him, but I do like the Arizona Cardinals. I do believe they have the talent to win a Super Bowl. They have the talent. I believe they have the right formula. You got Kyle Murray. You have a solid defense. I mean, the defense, with now they add Watt to it, and Chandler Jones looks like just a different animal out there. I mean, he had the old lineman apologizing to the fans on Twitter.
Yeah, you're right. He did. All right, so we already know they beat the Giants. Here's the thing: the bum ass Jets held them to 19 points. I have a problem with that. Okay, and this was Darnold's revenge game. He's supposed to put up 30. He's supposed to smoke them. Couldn't do it. They had the Saints, lost. Texans, not a walkover we thought would be with Tyrod Taylor, right? Also, too, shout out to my man Nico Collins, rookie receiver from Michigan. He had one catch, but I told somebody I bet $20 and he had a catch on opening day, so he had to Venmo me my $20. Cowboys, Vikings, Eagles, Giants. I think they'll beat the Falcons. They got the Patriots. They have the same Cardinals team you're putting in the Super Bowl. And week 11, they have the Washington football team, that defense. Week 12, they got to go down to South Beach and come mess with Miami. They don't get their bye to week 13, and then they're bounced back with Atlanta, Buffalo, Tampa. Their last 4 is Buffalo, Tampa, Saints, Tampa. That's 0-4, right? Yeah. The way they end is going to knock them out of the playoffs. Well, I mean, if you put it like this, it's Miami by Falcons, Buffalo, Tampa, Saints, Buffalo. I mean, Tampa. Sorry, man. I can't ride with your Falcons pick. You want to put a sandwich? We bet on VJs on Sports with like Conduct. We bet sandwiches and sodas. You want to bet a sandwich and soda?
Sure.
What kind of sandwich you like?
Annie.
He said, "Eddie, this dude sounds like he's like 12 years old." Who is like? Is this somebody Sage and I know?
No.
All right. Well, look, man, we appreciate having you on, man. Sage and I got to get on with the show. We appreciate your participation and appreciate you. Keep watching on YouTube, man, brother. I'm gonna hit you back on that Panthers pick, though. What the fuck? What? And the Panthers and the Cardinals. Hey, everybody's entitled to their own, man. So, all right. Anyway, let's go back to the Cards. To your Seahawks, the Colts, Texans, Vikes, San Francisco, Steelers, Rams. That smells 3-3 to me. And at that point, the Rams are Colts, Bucks, Niners, Titans, Packers. 3 of their first 5 are on the road, but defense travels. Defense always travels, man. So I still like them to win that division. Your Cards, Titans, Rams, Browns, Packers, Bears. At the Titans, they already smashed them. At the Rams, they don't get that one. At the Browns, they don't get that one. Home against the Packers. Have the Packers turned it around by then? Are they Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams, Scantling, Lazard, the defense, Jair Alexander? Like, are they back to the Packers at that point? I think probably they are, right? By week 4, week 5. Week 1 will be an anomaly, right? I mean, that's kind of how they play. At the Bears, Bears still feel the defense, even though the Rams should have probably won that game by more. I thought the Bears should have had that game closer early, but they blew some drives. They throw a pick in the end. Their first drive, they drive them right down the field against that defense. They throw a pick in the end zone, but, wins and losses are still wins and losses no matter how you shake them out. So I think at that time, the Bears, maybe Justin Fields is the starter there. Maybe Justin Fields has sparked them. Who knows right there? So I don't mind your Hawks pick, but I'm just looking at it like, I'm not sure.
I don't want Fields in yet, and I'm not really for rookie QBs unless they are extremely ready. They should be sitting, because I don't like rookie QBs that are just good at the playbook. I want them to be experts at it. I want them to be able to make changes at the line that they notice, that they see from a play 2 months ago that him and coach were talking about, that in that situation he knew to audible to a certain play. Like, I want that type of expert knowledge. I don't just want I got through training camp and I got by and I'm making it work because I'm that good. But I don't want just that good, because that good can lead to accidents, like when you have Joe Burrow out there getting hurt for the whole rest of the season last year because he wasn't expert, he was good. So in the playbook, he was good. If he can audible out of a certain play, then that means that he can be a little bit more protective, and he can know, I'm about to get I need more protection on the left side of this play. So I'm going to change this up, or no, I'm going to expose that and audible this receiver into whatever route the offense allows him to.
Yeah. No, I feel you, man. I'm smiling and laughing because I miss talking football, which has been a while. And when you get going, you're pretty sharp, man. I like it. I agree with you. I need my rookie quarterback to be a game changer. Right. I don't know if I need him to be an expert at the playbook, but I'm with you on, I picked up the playbook. That don't mean shit. Just because you picked it up, can you execute it? It's not picking it up. Can you execute the playbook is what it comes down to. That's what I need to see. That's what I need to know. So that's why the quarterback, Garoppolo's playing for his life. We know it. And it's still Detroit. But, man, it was just ironic that Trey Lance and Justin Fields both got burned. And my thing is, if you're going to do that, just start the guys. If you're going to do that, just start them. You know what I'm saying? Like Aaron Donald got handled. Everybody was so afraid of putting the rookie out against Aaron Donald. And I got Aaron Donald on my IDP league that you're in with me on NFL.com. He didn't do shit. He got handled. But if you remember the Bears game last year at Chicago, they handled him in that game too. They have a scheme for him, and they got a center and 2 guards that can block him or keep him busy enough. Where he didn't. Did he make a play Sunday night? Do you remember a play he made Sunday night? I don't. So, I mean, if you got Dalton out there, but you're bringing in Justin Fields multiple times, why don't you just start Justin Fields? You know, the running back is quoted as, he's special. That guy, like, he's a leader. He's this, he's that. To me, it sounds like a running back veteran saying, I'll play for that guy. I'll die out here for that guy. I don't know about this Andy because the players know Andy's not the future at all. So sometimes I'm sure a player or two is like, well, if he ain't the future, why the fuck is he starting? You might as well just put the kid in and let the kid go do what he do, like he's doing it for TV in Hollywood, and let's just go see where it goes from there. Because eventually, you're going to put him in anyway. I would be pissed as a veteran if a team decided to wait until we were 2-7 to start the better like future quarter. I'd be pissed as a veteran. Like, damn, so we got the 2-7. Now you're going to play him? And then they go win like 3 in a row, right? And it's like, oh, man, look at this rookie. He's going to be great. You know what I'm saying? And then you're like, yeah, they missed the boat on playing this dude. To me, you waste the season.
What if that extra time allowed them to be that excellent?
How do we know that?
How do we know that it didn't help them?
So it goes how much? So then
basically, I'll flip it the other way.
What's a better question? Okay, so but what's a better? Okay, so a better way to look at it is you and I are both guys that you think it would help. I say I don't know if it helped or not because they didn't play him back then. The only way you know is if you play him back then. And then we also say experience is the best teacher. But do we only mean that just when it fits some narrative we're trying to write?
What about the narrative for Andrew Luck and how his career got derailed because he got thrown in year one and he continually bro, he was always an amazing player, but because maybe if they would have sat, like I said, if he had enough time where he couldn't, in that situation, he couldn't because he had to play, right? He had to play day one. But if he had more time to develop and become an expert in the playbook, could that have changed different? Look at Winston. So now the narrative for Jameis Winston is he sat for a year and got, groomed and got taught that how to play in an offense. And he looked amazing, but we don't know yet entirely because 5 out of his 14 completed passes were TDs. So the defense took care of business. So I need Winston to do a little bit more to install a faith. Because right now it was a good showing and an inspiring story. I love the comfort behind stories where he fell from number 1 overall pick to save a franchise and they give up on you.
I would agree with most of that, but he wasn't a rookie sitting. He was a guy that have already thrown for 5,000 yards in this league. He was a guy that already thrown for over 35 touchdowns in the season in this league. He just sat.
He sat but he got to actually learn.
He sat in a Sean Payton quarterback room. That's different than and Andrew Luck. Let's just go back to that one. Andrew Luck is out of the league now. He played 8 years, 8, 7, 8 years, 9 years, something like that. Andrew Luck is out of the league because he just simply didn't know how to get down. And took falling forward too many damn times, took too many damn hits. Once again, how's it that Tom Brady's still playing? How's it that Aaron Rodgers is still? Aaron Rodgers' injuries are only when someone leaves their feet and drives him into the ground. They don't get hit. They know how to not take the hit. That's why they're both going to be over Drew Brees. They know not to take the hit. Don't blame Andrew Luck being thrown into. Andrew Luck was ready. They were calling him the best prospect since John Elway. Okay? Since Dan Marino. Since that class.
How did Trevor Lawrence do it? He was the next one along the lines with those type of players. How did he do in his first game against the Texans? And came out with a performance where he showed some flashes of like the number 1 pick, but he showed a lot of that's not what we. That's not the guy we saw.
You and I just don't agree on this. In my opinion, if I'm a GM at any point in my life, if we ever take a quarterback, you see where my goals are, right? When I'm a GM one day in my life, if we ever take a quarterback in the first round, I don't give a shit who's on the roster. He's playing opening week. I do not waste first round picks for the future. First round picks are now. I need you to play now. We got OTAs, we got mini camp, we got rookie camp, we got time. But by September 12th, September 13th, September 14th, I need you ready. Yes, you'll make mistakes. I get that. Don't mean you're not ready. Trevor Lawrence, 3 for 3, right? 3 and 3, 3 touches, 3 interceptions. But I went back and, as mentioned earlier in the show, I watched the game. His 3 interceptions, 2 of them looked really bad. He threw into triple coverage, and then he threw into quadruple coverage under no pressure. Was the ball slip? I don't know. But I know when I saw the interception, my initial reaction is, who the fuck is he throwing that to? Like that, like, are you kidding? Like, who did he throw? What receiver was he? The one in triple coverage, he was 2 yards behind the receiver. It was a crossing route. He was 2 yards. The corner's chasing the receiver, and he looks and he goes, oh, shit, the ball's coming. He didn't go get it. It came right to him. And the receiver's turning around like, dude, where the – that will happen. Can they be cleaned up? Yes. But I'd much rather it happen open Sunday of your rookie season than later in the year where my job might be on the line. I might have lost some veterans in the locker room because I waited till we were 1-8 before I started this young kid. This could set a young kid back psychologically. Nobody thinks about this shit like this. Say it's that coaches. Okay, say for instance, Justin Herbert. I'll use Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert started because some doctor fucked up, and I don't know what happened with Tyrod Taylor. He might have poked him in the ribs on purpose. He might have been, I got to play the color card. He might have been one of them little secret racist doctors, because I don't know how the hell an NFL team doctor don't know how to give a damn shot to an NFL quarterback that's about to suit up and play. You know what I'm saying? It was like Cam Newton took the wrong test. Who the fuck is giving him the test? He didn't go in there and pick the goddamn test himself. Somebody gave him the damn test, but he got blamed for it. Not taking care. He's unreliable. Unreliable. Wow. See all these pro athletes that are catching COVID and had to sit down now? Big name people too. Sale, quarterback for pitcher for the Red Sox, right? It's a big name player. Caught COVID. What are you doing? Why wasn't he cut? Anyway, different top. No, not a different topic, because it is for this show, but that's probably just for a different show. But you look at these rookies. You quarterbacks gotta you play them. Trevor's playing. Zach's playing. Trey Lance. Listen, when you drafted Trey Lance, Garoppolo should have never made it through draft weekend. You should have been moved him. You could have got something for him. And now you start Trey, or you play Trey, or Trey takes his position. You're going to have to cut him and get nothing for him, because everybody knows he's on the market. Everybody knows you want to get rid of him. Nobody's going to – if I'm a GM and you call me, I'm like, yeah, I'll wait till that price drop, homie, because you want to get rid of him. So what you're asking for right now, even if I think it's a realistic and a doable deal, I still wouldn't do it just off the strength. I know you want to get rid of him. So when I look at a rookie quarterback, if I'm a GM, I don't care if it's number 32 in the first round. If you're drafting a quarterback in the first round, that means you need one. You don't draft quarterback. If you thought Garoppolo was going to be your guy, you don't move up to number 3 to try to grab one of the quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? If you thought Sam Darnold was your guy, you don't trade him. This idea that people think that you can bring these quarterbacks, bring them along, Patrick Mahomes probably could have played on day one. He would have made some mistakes, but he's also a guy that defenders would have been like, whoa, shit, I ain't seen nothing like this since Mike Vick. As far as the way he played was just on such opposite ends on the spectrum that it was just something like we never seen before, like Mike Vick. The first time Mike Vick stepped on the football field, we went, what the? Whoa. Oh, it's not going to work. It's not going to work in the ACC, National Championship game. Oh, it's not going to work against Florida State. People forget, he tore 2 ACLs, not his own. He tore 2 potential first-round draft picks with them cuts on that turf in New Orleans. Damn. Oh, it's not going to work in the NFL. League MVP. Taking his team to divisional rounds. First quarterback to go win a game up at Lambeau in the playoffs in like 40 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's – there's some of these guys could be that, and you have to put him in now. Mahomes is one of those guys. I think they just wanted to be nice to Alex Smith, but he could have, and he would, like I say, he'd have made some mistakes, but we just still saw those flashes. Buffalo, right? Josh Allen, people were calling him a bust. And then last year, he throws for 4,800 yards, 37 touchdowns, 36 touchdowns. Like, he had a great year last year. But people were ready to get rid of him. But what? You start them day one, they're going to make mistakes. It's like having an infant. The first time they start to try to walk, at some point, you have to let go and you have to let them fall down to their knees. Sooner or later, they'll learn not to fall down to their knees, and then they're going to be running. Then they're going to be climbing on shit. Then they're going to be jumping off and on shit. That's the equivalent to me of getting your team to the playoffs, getting to a divisional round. Hey, Josh Allen had his team in the AFC Championship game last year, correct? Or did I miss something? AFC Championship game was the Bills and the Chiefs, right?
Yep.
They started them from day one, right? Not saying waiting doesn't help. I'm not doing that shit. You play now.
Isn't that? But that's all right. So that point now, is he regress? Is Josh Allen regressing, or is it a fluke that with the performance he just put up? Because that's not a performance that a guy that just got, or is that a performance that a guy that just got the bag and it's kind of like letting down?
Well, great point, because I never paid attention to the bag. I did with Zeke because I just thought Zeke was that type of guy. You could see it coming out of college. And I don't hold much into week one with that performance because I still think Pittsburgh can rush the passer. Mika Fitzpatrick is an all-pro safety. So that kind of cuts the deep part of the field. That cuts that down a little bit. You still have a Pro Bowl corner. So that cuts kind of the field. Like, it was a hard game for them to move the football against a Steelers defense. The Steelers, I think, are 9-8, 10-17 this year. I think they're right around 500. I don't think they make the playoffs. But their defense is going to show up because TJ Watt's on the end. And TJ Watt's just going to run you down. He's going to run quarterbacks down all Sunday long. That's just what he's going to do. And you got linebackers. Devin Bush is back from the ACL, Michigan. You got guys that can chase the quarterback. You got guys that can run sideline, make tackles. You got an all-pro safety, and a Pro Bowl corner. So their defense is going to be well. Think about it. He'll be able to beat up on the Jets twice. The Bills have some games that I think are winnable for them. I still think I have the Bills at 11-6. I just have Miami winning the division at 12-5. But I have the Bills. The Bills play the Steelers, the Chiefs, the Titans, the Saints. They're at the Chiefs, at the Saints, at the Bucks. Those could be 3 L's. Especially if things are brewing the way that we feel that they're brewing down in New Orleans. Once again, just 1 week, but I mean, like I said, I've been watching Jameis since high school. I've never seen his poise like that before. There was a play that even Troy Aikman commented about where he had, you remember the play, you watched the game, where he had just like 8 seconds just standing there. And his eyes are boom, 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 covered, covered. Okay, throw it away. And Troy Aikman goes, Sean Payton is probably very proud of that play right there. And as he's talking, they bring up the replay from behind, like if you're playing Madden, right? And they're showing everywhere he looks covered. The guy crossing, though, the old Jameis, he'd try to fit that shit in there, and the safety had to step right up and intercepted the ball. That type of growth I've never seen out of him before. So I don't think it's a 1 week thing, because if it was a 1 week thing, Sean Payton wouldn't be playing him.
Exactly. And I mentioned that same play on multiple shows. And it stood out to me, and it was the most. And shout out to Winston, and I don't want to give him too much. He still has a lot to prove because the defense really did a great job. And to be real, it was a great play calling. That 4th and 7 that really set the tone for the game.
Yeah.
Pretty much, I think that play won the game. At that point, once they got the 4th and 7, there was no coming. It was like I said earlier, when you have a team, it was 17-3, and there was a moment when the Green Bay is making that drive into that where they threw that pick in the red zone.
Yeah,
they never look back. You got to put your foot on the gas pedal and don't look back. Like the third quarter, there was no game. It was a wrap. And that's where a lot of teams, like the Ravens, Baltimore Ravens, they didn't put their foot on the gas pedal on the Raiders, and they gave them opportunities to win that game. Even though
hold on. We'll get to that because I'm gonna give you the floor to talk about your Raiders. I'm gonna give you some props in a second. I want that. I'm saving that for you. And great minds think alike, being that you mentioned that on a lot of shows. I just want to get to some of the comments here, man. Everybody. Watch it right now on Spreaker.com and on the Vesta Sports Network on YouTube. My man Damian Scott says Aaron Rodgers played like he spent the whole offseason in Hawaii. I'm going to Maui soon. I can't wait. I'm gonna just lay in I'm just laying my drawers. Like, and look, listen, I am not poolside body ready at all, but I don't give a fuck. I'm wearing some real tight, like real short swimming trunks, so you can see what's cracking. And I'm getting massages by the pool and drinking pina coladas and smoking trees the whole time I'm there. Anyway, Aaron Rodgers played like he spent the whole offseason in Hawaii. Week 1 should be looked at the 4th preseason game. Packers season starts on Monday. My man Bob Money says, yo, that's all he typed. My man Damian Scott jumped back in here again. Says CMC would need to have an MVP outright for that to come true. He was talking about homeboy, talking about the Panthers. Honestly, I want to know who the hell that was. He sounded like he was 11 years old under the covers with a flashlight, sneaking on the cell phone because he's supposed to be asleep. He was.
I felt like this. Like it was one of those scenarios where sports talk is like banned in that country, and he was just like, "I'm trying to get in this sports talk show."
Oh my God, no. Listen, I said, you got your NFC teams? He was like, yeah, I do right here. Hold on.
I got it.
Yo, like, what the fuck is going on? But we appreciate you if you're still watching, homie. I'm a 20-year stand-up comedian, so I clown, man. It's all fun here, man. That's what Vesta's about. VJ Entertainment Sports Network. We're not just sports. We're also entertainment. My favorite entertainment is comedy, man. Damon Scott also says, poor Zach Wilson. He's going to fall on his face for that same exact reason. Also says Urban Meyer. It's not Myers. Urban Liar. Spell it right when you're on my show,
Urban
please.
Liar.
Urban Liar is the reason for that love. And then also Jordan Love. I think he may be talking about Jordan Love, the quarterback in Green Bay. Get him some time, man. But to go back to just Buffalo and Josh Allen, I don't want to be a hater. Like I said, I think they're an 11-16. Some of their tough games, like I said, they're at the Chiefs, they're at the Titans, they're at the Saints, they're at the Bucks. I mean, wow, those 4 right there. And like I said, we know what happened in week 1, but I warned people about the Julio trade for the Titans. I warned people over the summer. I said, hey, every year, just like I warned people about the J.J. Watt signing. J.J. Watt got signed off his name. And I'm pretty sure Arizona was not nowhere on his meter or his radar when he became a free agent. I guarantee you, when J.J. Watt got the call from his agent and said, hey, buddy, I got Arizona offering such and such and such and such. He didn't say, I got Arizona and they want to use you in this scheme and this scheme, and you're going to play with this guy and this guy. And at that point in your career is, I got Arizona on the phone, and Arizona is wanting to pay blah, 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 blah. Okay, bet. Get it. Sign it. Done. I done 34 million or 33 million, something crazy like that. He's past his prime, guys. He's fine. I asked the guy to put a $50 bet on over and under 5 sacks. He wouldn't even do it. But he was trying to tell me what J.J. Watt's going to do for this team. I said, okay, fine. 5 sacks. Put 50 on it right now. Over, under. I'll take the under. 5 sacks this year. He won't get a lot. Trust me. I hate to wish injury on somebody, but he's older. He's always injured. Julio, I don't think he didn't want to get traded to Tennessee. I don't care what kind of running game they got in. He wants to be somewhere where they're going to air it out. He got traded from Matt Ryan to Ryan Tannehill. Like, think about that, people. Thank you. I can see it in your face, Sage. But he got
called. Did you see the coach called him out too?
I was going to say, let's go to Tennessee, man. What you saw week 1. But also where you kind of predicted them. We both have them winning their division, though, because the division's bad, right?
Texans, that's the reason why.
Yeah, Texans, Colts, and Jags. We know the Jags are going to be horrible. I don't know what to feel about the Colts, but I think Houston can go either way because they're not. I don't think Deshaun Watson plays this year. They're just going week to week with it. Yeah, they're going week to week with it, and he's just not going to play this season. And Tyrod Taylor is a veteran. He's a veteran quarterback. You have receiving weapons. You got a running back to turn and give the ball to. I mean, we just saw, albeit who they played against, didn't matter, man. You put up 40 points on anybody to me. Damn near 40 points on anybody to me is impressive. Talk to me about Tennessee.
Well, I'm a little disappointed in the coach. Not, I mean, he called out Julio straight up, and Julio deserved a little bit, but I just think it's like the wrong direction when you're relationship building, and you want to come off as that you know that I like you know I'm that jerk. I want to be that guy. That's the type of coach I am, and that's fine. But when you bring in someone for that type of magnitude, wouldn't you want it to work? And that's where I'm a little confused because you have a lot of money tied to that now. And I can see that becoming a potential problem. I did not like the interview, but they're still my division pick. I still think they get it together, but I see their first round exit real. I mean, it might not even be close to first round.
Well, if you think about it, remember they lost a home playoff game, which you and I did a show about, and we both, you, myself, Luis Estrada was on from Estrada Sports over at Spectrum Network. I had them lose. I had the Ravens winning that game. Remember, I took the Ravens and I took the points. I took the Ravens and the points, and the Ravens cashed in on both of them for me. So we have seen them lose a home playoff game in the first round, and I agree with you. I think it will happen this year, especially if I look at my AFC. If they finish, well, I don't have them. I guess I have them finishing with I got them with the third, but I got them at 12-5. I think they'll have a better record than Miami. It's probably why I have Miami at 4 and I have the Titans at 3. But at that third seed, there's only at that third seed, there's only one bye, and that would be the Chiefs. They would, in my bracket, they would be playing the Colts. The Colts would be going in there, so they might be able to get past that. But if the Colts run into any quarterback problems, rookie Sam Ehlinger from Texas is out for the first 4 to 6 weeks. So if Wentz goes down, I don't even know who's behind Wentz.
I
don't know either. Because Ehlinger went down, so I don't even know who their third. Nobody knows the third quarterback on any. And I don't even know the third quarterback on the Dolphins. I know there's Tua Tagovailoa and there's Kobe Brissett. And I can't tell you.
The only reason I know the Raiders' third QB is because he's the only QB to play this preseason for the Raiders. Nate Peterman.
Peterman. You're right. Because there was no Carr and there was no.
He's like Gruden's favorite project QB that he'll never let go, but he'll be like, "I'm paying you the least amount of money, but like you're still my project." Like you just keep going along. Like usually he loves project. And Mariota, that run. He got hurt.
Yeah.
And, Gruden came out and said, I had so much plans for Mariota because he allowed me to open up a part of the playbook I never had with Carr. And that's where he was like, because those type of plays, I loved it, but it was a little disappointing because I know Marcus Mariota really sacrificed, I think gave up the Washington football team's job to literally be the backup QB for the Las Vegas Raiders because he loves the team better. And they are better than the Washington football team, except the defense to me they're a little bit more solid.
I look so fine, man. Let's go. I keep trying to hold off on the Raiders. You keep pulling me back there, so I'm gonna let you do your thing, man. That division, I have the Chiefs at 15-2, I have the Broncos at 10-7, I have the Raiders at 10-7, and I have the Chargers at 8-9. But I think the Broncos will get that last spot with a better division record or head-to-head over the Raiders in points for, points against all the tiebreakers that go through in the NFL, man. So I don't know if you got it down, but give me the AFC West. I want their records, and I want it in order. So for me, once again, Chiefs 15-2, Broncos 10-7, Raiders 10-7, Chargers 8-9. Chargers and the Raiders are out. Gruden's fired this offseason, and Teddy B takes the Broncos to a playoff before they probably flirt with Aaron Rodgers next year and have my man on the bench or cut him or send him somewhere like they do the black and brown quarterbacks in the NFL. So that's my AFC West. This is your division. Go.
I'm going to go Chiefs 14-3. I'm going to go Raiders 12-5. I'm going to go Chargers 11-6. I'm going to go Broncos 4-13. Teddy's not gonna get the job done this year. I don't believe in their offense at all. They just lost Judy. They're losing momentum. I do like Tim Patrick filling in for fantasy, like I mentioned earlier on the fantasy show I was on. But that's a different topic. We're talking about actual NFL, what wins and losses. It's not fantasy, it's not the IDP in your league, and they're just not gonna get the job done. Broncos, they need a high draft pick. They need a QB next year. They're gonna get a QB in the draft. There's no way they miss. There's no way they're not dropping a QB first round. Tell me they're not. And I'll buy you another sandwich. I'll make sure
You already owe me a turkey club stacked on wheat with a ginger ale. If you want to have to owe me 2, that's fine. For you to say the Raiders are a 12-5 football team, you guys don't have a 12-5 defense. How the fuck are you getting a 12-5?
The youth is growing up, man. That's the difference.
You lost 2 linemen. You lost 2 linemen Monday night.
And Mariota.
Exactly. And you're saying 12-5 off of missing 2 linemen. Now, listen, I'll tell you.
What team isn't hurt in the NFL, though? And that's the thing about the NFL.
The Miami Dolphins. We filled it. Austin Jackson was, I think they're tired of Austin. I think they're tired of waiting on Austin Jackson. He was just I feel like when they took him in the first round with that second first round pick at number 18 last year, I didn't like that pick. I didn't like that pick because I'm out here in Los Angeles. You're out here a lot. Raynell is a Trojan. She went to SC. We've been to games. We watch SC every weekend. We watch SC games. He never leaped off the film to me. He never leaped off the TV to me to make me think that he was a first round draft pick. And I think they just might have reached and missed on that one. And that's because they knew they were going to have to try to get a quarterback, and they got Tua at number 5, and then decided to say, okay, we got to at least try to find a left tackle in this draft. What they probably could have did is grabbed another weapon or another defensive guy. You know what I'm saying? They could have took Winfield Jr. with that 18th pick and solidified that safety position, and then still would have got Holland this year from Oregon to play the Viper, play the inside corner, play some of this the free and strong, and you still don't have this guy at left tackle. So it's as far as every team being injured, that's the only guy it felt like more of a healthy scratch. But go ahead. I'm gonna pull up. I'm pulling up you guys' schedule because this 12-5. So 12-5 got the Raiders, good win. Ravens, good win. You have Pittsburgh, Miami, loss. Chargers win. Bears win. Broncos loss. You have a stretch here that I like. It's a 5-week stretch with the bye in the middle. Broncos, Eagles, bye, Giants, and Chiefs. You get the Bengals on a little break there, but then back to back, Cowboys, Washington, Chiefs, Browns.
Why did you say Washington like they're a threat?
Their defense.
That's not a threat.
Their defense
is a quarterback.
Better than your defense.
I'm not threatened by Washington. Like they're not a threat to me right now.
You know what? You know the worst thing that happened to Raider fans Monday is that y'all won that fucking game. Look at the way you say it right now. We're real arrogant, talking shit. Like I'm not threatened. I'm not threatened. I feel you, but it's listen. Even Raynell asked me tonight. She goes, "You're not gonna give me my props." I'm like, "What are you?" I had no idea what she was talking. I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Oh, so like, what do you think I'm talking about? I'm like, I don't know. I watched the game. Like she's a Trojan, right? They got their ass smacked by Stanford. That's what got Hilton fired. I was like, oh, the Raiders? Yeah, you're not gonna give me my. She's never asked me that after a Raider win. A coworker of mine, yo, bro, what's up? You want to talk about my Raiders on your show? I'm like, oh my god, the worst thing that happened to Raider fans is that y'all won that day. And we beat. Come on now, that's a great win. Like Lamar, beating Lamar Jackson, beating the Raiders. I'm like, you know what? Fine. You guys can have it, man. But just the way you chilling right now, like with Washington, they're not a threat. They're not a threat to me.
Come on, man. Come on.
And then you finish up. The second half of your schedule. If you want to take Washington out of there, okay. Week 12, Cowboys. We know that offense. Chiefs, Browns, Broncos, Colts. That Colts win is probably a win. The Colts game is dangerous because by then the Colts could have 4 wins. And it's just one of them games that, you know, you should crush them, but you don't.
Like the Jets game last year where they needed Henry Ruggs to get a home run to win the game.
They had you guys dead to right. You guys were about to lose to the bum-ass Jets until that bum-ass corner did what a bum-ass Jets player normally does. And for some reason, man, went for a double move with like 4 seconds to go. Dude, put your feet on the 5 and don't let no and tackle everything in front of you. He went for a double move, like it just shows you how bad they are, or just like how crazy lucky you guys are. I mean, we played y'all last year. We already know the outcome of that game and how that game
and
ended.
You got the fluke win that time.
Now it's a fluke win.
That Fitzpatrick pass, come on, bro. That was a pure luck. And I'll give him he had the luck. And you know what happens when you give people luck? You give people a chance to shine. And we gave you, like I said, the Ravens, they gave the Raiders a chance. The Raiders gave the Dolphins a chance. One of the luckiest chance. Literally, they PI'd the guy. It was just
was it a lucky ass throw? Yes. But where the fuck is your corner looking that a ball floats like that and doesn't make a play on? Like, that should have never been. He had his damn back turned. He didn't even know what the hell was going on. Yeah, so it was a lucky throw, but it wasn't nothing that your sorry ass corner was going to do about it.
Oh no, you didn't hear me defend that defense last year. They were just as bad, and I didn't defend them. Like, I literally kept saying they're the reason why the Raiders aren't a playoff team. Is exactly what I was saying. Their defense wasn't good. This year's different. It looks different. The youth is growing up. Well, but we gotta find out. It's just it's week 1. That's not, I don't want to overreact.
No. I don't want to overreact either. But you and I talk a lot. These are. I already know how you feel. This is just for the fans right now that's listening live right now. And I'll take a quick break, really quick from the conversation, just to thank everybody for tuning in live right now. VJ's on Sportsmanlike Conduct. I'm your host, VJ Vernon Husky, the Big Vanilla Funny, and right around tonight with me, my man Sage Alvarez over Twitter. Make sure you guys go check him out at Saged Up on Twitter, talking 2021 NFL preview predictions and picks. We've already given our division winners. I gave my wild cards. He's too scared to. I've already gave my conference championship games and my Super Bowl so far. Now we're just going division on division. And right now he is sucking at the teat of the ghost of Mr. Just Win Baby Al Davis right now, talking about his Raiders after a big Monday night win over the Baltimore Ravens. I did say earlier in the show, Ravens, Packers, Browns, they'll be fine, guys. They're okay, especially the Browns. Browns can run on anybody. The defense played well. Just, you have to play the Tyreek Hill, right, where the defense is there to make a play, but it's a great play by Mahomes, a back shoulder bomb that you don't see. Tyreek catches it and then turns on the Jets. There's nobody in the NFL that's catching him. I think they have receivers. I love the fact that Peoples-Jones, Michigan, is getting a lot of PT there. Odell Beckham has already been a scratch for this weekend. I try to tell people he's done. He will never be the same receiver again. He will never. Listen, children, little boys and girls out there, listen to me. Pay attention. Let me move the microphone and talk to y'all real quick, man. If you want to be a celebrity athlete, that's fine. But understand, sooner or later, that celebrity athlete shit don't really win a lot of championships, because when you should be training, when you should be working on your body 24/7. And look, who am I to talk, right? I'm out of shape. I don't play no more and all this other shit. That's fine. But you do, though. You still play. And you want to be in Drake videos, and you want to chase around Instagram thoughts, and you want to chase around OnlyFans chicks. You want to go all these parties and do all this shit where you could be training. Understand why when you blow an ACL or you pull a hamstring, when you could really come back in a week or two because your body's prepared, you're out 6 weeks. You come back from ACL. ACL is supposed to be the injury. Oh, it's fine. Everybody comes back. No, everybody doesn't come back. There's some people that are never the same again. Doesn't matter if you're in your 2nd year, 3rd year, 4th year, 5th year, 8th year, 13th year, 14th year. We watched Jerry Rice in his 15th year tear his ACL on opening day. He was back playing by the last week of the NFL season. That same year. That's 4.5 months, guys. Come on with it now. You got guys now. Well, it takes a year after your injury to kind of come back. Yeah, Jerry did that shit in 4.5 months. You're telling me it takes 18, 16, 19, 20 months, sometimes 24 months for you, boys and girls, over here on my IG, on my YouTube, Vessel Sports Network, StreamYard, everybody listen on iHeartRadio, Spreaker.com. If you want to be a legendary athlete, you want to be like known as great, there's plenty of time to party and chill and do all this shit. Ask a Kobe. Kobe, Lord rest his soul. What does everybody talk about? His work ethic. He didn't party. He didn't club. He didn't hang with the team. He didn't care. He wanted to be immortalized, and he is immortalized. Dead or not, Kobe was already immortalized. A lot of these kids today don't get that. Sha'Carri Richardson is one of them. You don't get it. You're at the Met Gala with a picture of yourself, and your caption is, "You wanted to see me with my shoulders down. You wanted to see me in the corner." No. We want you to act like you got some fucking humility and act like you want to be FloJo since you think you the new FloJo. Because them Jamaican shorties blowing your ass away. We want you to be successful.
And then to be disrespectful to them as a country, I mean, where is this narrative going with her? And I'm so lost.
She wants. I'm already telling you.
Yep.
She wants to be a celebrity athlete. She has no interest in being legendary. There's a difference. If you want to be a celebrity athlete, cool. Just you have to take all the shit that comes with it. Especially when Odell never called himself the best, right? Never called himself the GOAT. Odell never pumped himself up. He's just a showtimey type of guy, but a lot of TikToks like Juju Smith-Schuster, he could be a top 5 receiver in the league. He's that good. He's too worried about other shit. He's still good. But think about it. As a free agent at 24, 25 years old, he couldn't get nobody to give him a big deal. And Galladay gets $70 million from the Giants.
Unreal. Who gave him the second biggest deal? I want to know that. I want to know how close that other team was for the Giants to negotiate that.
The rumor is Kansas City was at about $13 million for Juju, but he had to take the 1 year, $8 million. I'm talking about for Juju.
Oh,
Galladay. I think Galladay, once again, that's an agent on the phone saying, "Hey, I got the Giants on line 1, and they want to blah blah blah." You don't wait for no other offer. Sign $70 million. Sign it. You don't wait to hear nothing else.
Sign.
But they see something in him that they figured we got to go get a guy. They could have drafted. They could have drafted a receiver. They could have went after a receiver with that pick, and they did. Think about it. They went after him, and then they went and got Ladarius Toney from Florida. So they addressed it with some speed, but they still felt like we need something else to go with. We need something else to go with Shepard. Kind of worked week 1. A lot of attention on those other two guys. Shepard's touchdown pass. He's one-on-one. He's not open, but he's one-on-one. Last year, he got double covered all year long. So they're planning they're planning what they were thinking. Work. Let's jump to another division. I want to touch a division we have not talked about at all. Okay, yeah, this is a good one, man. We haven't talked about the AFC North really at all. Okay. So in this division, Browns 13-4, Ravens 13-4, Steelers 7-10, Bungles at 4-13. They're drafting 2 or 3rd again. They're gonna probably try to go after a lineman that they screwed up not getting, even though Jamar Chase might have been the right pick, but they definitely will be bad and they definitely need a lineman. That'll be their pick there. But once again, Browns 13-4, Ravens 13-4. I think they split. Browns get the number 1 win the division on division record and head-to-head and all the NFL ties. Tiebreakers, Steelers at 7-10, Bengals at 4-13.
I got the Browns. I'm looking at 13-4. I think the Ravens 12-5. Steelers, I'm gonna go 6-11. And the Bungles, I love that. That's a great name.
That's a little Chris Berman.
The GOAT. And I'm gonna go with them at 4-13.
Who?
The Bengals. The Bengals. Yeah.
Where do you have the Steelers?
I had them at 6-11.
Okay. Yeah, Big Ben's arm falls off at about October.
He's done. I'm not a Big Ben believer this year. I believe that they're just gonna get another high draft pick, and I think they're gonna waste a good defensive team. With an offense that has weapons, but they didn't. One of the few surprises, I thought they would have done what the Niners did. I thought that they were the team that was going to try to trade up to get a top 3 pick.
A few people, you're not the only one. There are a lot of experts that thought there are so-called experts, people on big-time networks and platforms. There's no such thing as an expert, but a lot of guys with bigger platforms on network TV, they thought the same thing. Got their schedule up right here. We already see them go up there and they escape. They grab one. You guys are out there this weekend. Toss up. That's a great pass rush, so you guys better be prepared. I don't know if they have a matchup for Waller. Maybe Mika's going to be the guy that's going to try to shadow him and get physical with him because Mika's big. Bengals, Packers, Broncos, Seahawks right before a bye week, so that can all be tough right there. Also, Cleveland, Chicago, Detroit. That little run right there, I think Cleveland gets them. That's a division game, but Chicago, Lions, Chargers, Bengals. Then they finish out. Their run at the end is tough. From week 13 on, Ravens, Vikings, Titans, Chiefs, Browns, Ravens. So Browns and Ravens to finish the year. Both will be cold games. 1 or 2 can be snowing or some cold sleet or rain or something like that time of year in those states. That's a have your Wheaties that morning. You better eat your egg whites and your Ezekiel toast with your vegan butter and a nice little piece of filet or steak and get some beef in you and maybe a little bowl of pasta for some carbs and some energy. You better bring your big boy draws. No women for 2 weeks for them games. You need every ounce of energy you got. No honey dips. You can't have no honey dips from if you play for the Steelers. Those last 3 games against the Chiefs, the Browns, and the Ravens, 3 weeks, man. No cookie. You can't be the cookie monster. No cookie, man. You can't be the cookie. You need all your energy for those 3 teams, man. So that's why I see him at 7-10. I think his arm's gone. I'm trying to figure out if Najee Harris is that guy. And I know we haven't seen anything yet. They ran him a lot in preseason, though. And he didn't get hurt. We look at, where J.K. Dobbins was hurt, right? Playing in preseason. So he ran and they kept him in second quarters, third quarters. Like Tomlin played him. And I'm trying to figure out if he's that guy, then that record changes from 7-10 to maybe 10-7. If he's that guy, because if you can run the football, like you said, you got weapons. Who's the number 1 though? Is it Johnson? Is it Claypool? Is it Juju? Like who's the number 1 there? You kind of don't know.
Everything goes with a hot hand, and you kind of go with who's having the better week. I mean, if you don't show up, it's NFL. It's availability. And it's also injuries. Do they have any lingering issues, and how they feeling physically, like to a point where we can depend on you a little bit more,
Let's go to the comments, man. My man, I want to make sure I pronounce this right. Make sure you didn't do a typo, man, because it don't look like nothing I can't pronounce. Ali Khatib, if I said that right. Khatib, Khatib. I think I got that, though. He said 12-5, though. You are tripping. Woo! That's somebody right there. And listen, Ali, if you want to come in, brother, I'm going to drop in the link right here on StreamYard. And you're more than welcome. And listen, Sage talking shit. Sage said,
Let me know, man.
Come on if you want. And don't come on VJs Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Yeah, come on, bring that energy. Let's go.
That's what he really meant. I'm his friend. I know what he meant. He said, come on, but what he really meant was, you punk ass, you want to talk shit, come get some of this Sage seasoning. I'll send your ass home bland. I don't know where I just got that from and how I said that and why the hell I said it. But when Sage did the season, it made it work there, man. So unless he wants to come in.
You are right on that comment from earlier where if I heard the word season, I'm probably trying like, where's this guy BJ at?
Exactly. That's why I love giving guys crazy nicknames, man. Let's talk about the Ravens for a second here. Running back injuries. I love their receivers. I love when Rashad Bateman comes back. I think he'll be, that type of NFL receiver that can be the number 1 there, make the tough catches, make the big catches, and grow. He reminds me a lot of the young man out of Purdue, Rondale Moore, that's out in Arizona. Reminds me a lot of those guys, 2 Big Ten guys. I watch a lot of Big Ten football. I love Big Ten football. But he reminds me of those 2 guys, and I think he could get the job done there once he comes off the scrap heap. But, man, just blow after blow at the running back position. And they signed Le'Veon. He's a healthy scratch, though. He doesn't even dress Monday. Scott doesn't know the playbook yet. Like, what's going on here? What I saw Monday against you guys is Lamar's got to do it all. What I hate about that, though, is if he doesn't, everybody's going to blame Lamar. And that's going to piss me off because you know I'm the big vanilla color card. You know how I feel about the black quarterbacks. Damian Scott said Rashard Bateman is going to be the alpha. I'm with you, Damian. I appreciate you. Listen to me and my man Sage Seasons talk right now. Talk to me about Baltimore. Stay away from Monday night's game. Just view that team. In that division, it's going to be tough. Like that, those are grown man games against the Browns. Even the Steelers, their defense, like I said, that's your egg white and filet for breakfast with a little bowl of pasta. And stay away from the cookie. You need all your energy for these games.
I mean, for them, we just had my co-host had Captain Defense, a legendary Raven fan, Hall of Famer for the fans. He went on the show and he went into how important Dobbins was to the franchise. Dobbins was good. He said that Dobbins was ready to go off. He was ready to show everyone he was essentially a top 10 running back and ready to be that guy. So that's going to limit Lamar. And that's going to limit the it doesn't matter who you're having all these random, I'll be disrespectful, but you're having all these free agent running backs come in now. And that's what they were. They were free agent running backs that every other team in the NFL said, we filled up our roster.
No, thank you.
We filled up our roster. We had 3 to 4 running backs. We have some practice squad running backs. And you guys are the leftovers. So in all fairness, that's what they were. And that's not the real solution. It's just temporary. That's all they can do. So and then you lose Rashad Bateman to IR, and he doesn't come back to week 6, I believe. Yeah. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like I really do. The Ravens will trend up, but in this first month, how much are they going to struggle? Not winning the Raider game is going to hurt their confidence, but it's going forward. But not talking about the game. How do you feel their confidence is going for the Ravens after that game? Do you think they'll shake it off? Who they got next week?
I don't like. Yeah, they got the Chiefs, which I don't like.
That's not good.
Which I don't like. But after that, they get Detroit. They get the Broncos in Mile High. I think it's a winnable game. As a matter of fact, if I flip back to my notes here, I think I talked about Detroit. Not Detroit. I talked about the Broncos on another show and talked about their early schedule and what I thought that it would do for them. They actually, out of their first 9 games, I got them at 6-3. So I have them with the losses. I thought they'd beat Baltimore. I thought that they would beat the Raiders, but I had that loss against KC. But I think they beat Detroit, the Broncos, the Colts, the Chargers, and the Bengals before their bye. So going into their bye, they should be 6-1. Coming out of their bye, Minnesota. Who knows where Minnesota will be by week 9? Dolphins, which is down in Miami, Chicago, and then it gets really, really tough on the stretch here. Listen to this stretch: Cleveland, Pitt, Cleveland, Green Bay, Bengals, Rams, Steelers. That's how they end. A bunch of those grown man games, like that LA game in week 17. That game was put in there by the schedule makers and say, okay, we're going to give 2 contenders a break from a conference or even a division game, and we're going to make them play an interconference game. While probably one of their other opponents that they're fighting with at that point is probably going to be able to make up some ground on a division game or a conference game. They're matching up an NFC potential contender against an AFC potential contender. So their schedule, they got to start good because just that end right there. And once again, I'll just go through that again. Even from week 10, just defense-wise, not even talking to an offense, anything. So week 10 against Miami, if you don't have a running back, listen, you're not winning. You're not running. If you don't have a running back, you already can't run on us. So if you don't have a running back and you have to throw the ball, we got the athletes in the scheme that can keep Lamar in a box. He'll make plays, but he just won't go off against our defense. Bears, they field the defense. Browns, defense. Steelers, defense. Browns, defense. Packers, defense. Bengals, Rams, defense. Steelers, defense. So Lamar is looking at 8 top 12 defenses, 8 of the 9 last weeks of his season That's tough. I still have them winning that division, but man, with no running back, and see, this was all before JK. I wrote these records down before JK went down. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not sure they're 13 and 14 without a running game. Lamar,
I have them at 12 and 5.
If Lamar by himself pulls out 12 and 5 or even 13 and 4, he's got to be the league MVP. They don't have a running back. Their best receiver is not even on the field right now. He's not back until week 6. Hollywood Brown, this is an opportunity for Sammy Watkins to grab his manhood and show back up and be that Clemson Buffalo Bill guy that you were when you first came out of school and came into the league. We need Sammy to step up. Seriously.
So far, so good for Sammy week 1. And and to Lamar's credit, I think it's so unfair to him the way the media treats him, because that's how people treat him. And that's why you get, I know you get on the media a lot. And to me, I've been a thing where if I feel you're a troll media, I've already lost like respect. I'm not really listening to your opinion at this point. I don't listen to troll media. A lot of, we'll meet those people when that day comes. But to me, I'm not playing that, and I'm not playing that narrative, man. Lamar needs to get his respect. You know what happens is we got Steve Young up there, and he'll talk about how it's not sustainable. Lamar cannot do what he's doing long term. I know this. I'm Steve Young. That's what he does. I'm Steve Young, and if I told everyone that McDonald's is healthy, it's because Steve Young told you it's healthy. That's why it's healthy now, But
here's another thing too. This was the year everybody's supposed to catch up to Lamar, and I know what the media will do. They'll still use that, but they won't mention that. They'll try to find other quarterbacks who lost running backs and still had good years, and try to somehow wrap that around. And make it and somehow make it viable. That
gets views. No, that will get views, and they know it, and I know it too because I'm learning the algorithm. I'm operating at a high level, so I know how these things work. I know the industry I'm getting into. I'm into now.
Yeah, and that's why I tell you I try to stay away from. I want to bring back with Vesta Sports. I want to bring back like hardcore, real, original. Sports talk, man. Like no cookie cutter, no clickbait, none of this personal narrative. Yeah, we all have players we like. We all have teams we like or don't like. We all have players that we don't like. That's fine. I'd much rather you just tell me you don't like the guy. Say you still respect this game. I don't like LeBron. I still respect this game, but I'm not a fan. I'm not going to be a fan. I don't want to be a fan. I think he does a lot of lame shit, and I don't like passive-aggressive athletes. He's a passive-aggressive dude. I don't like that shit. I don't have to. I'm a Kobe guy. Jordan 6-0, and Mike is the baddest man I've still seen on the basketball court. And he's the realest one because he was the only one that ever said, I think it's unfair to try to even make this a conversation because you can't compare guys from different eras. And he gave prop to Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain and Larry and Magic and then himself. And Kobe did the same. He's the only one sitting in a dark fucking room with his friends looking at a projector, all sitting around smiling and laughing and be like, that right there made me the GOAT. To me, that shit's lame. GOATs don't have to call themselves GOATs. Like, is Tom Brady saying he's a GOAT? No. He just takes a picture with 7 rings. Michael Jordan's got the picture with the famous one like this with the 6 rings. That's how you do it, man. You don't have to keep. So we're allowed to like and not like. And that's what I want to kind of keep with sports.
And that's what a thing about Jordan, man. That's what's making coaching a lot easier for me nowadays. Like we got Pooh Richardson as our assistant coach. I don't know if you remember watching him play back in the day, but it's like when I'm telling the kids, like, bro, we have someone that played against Jordan in our gym. You should probably listen to him.
Yeah.
I don't have to say it loud. Like, you should probably listen to someone who played against Jordan, who was the number one draft pick for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Like, come on, man. Like,
listen. Here's another thing too, man. Just another quick sidebar. Did you see the clip of Bradley Beal talking to his AAU team?
Oh yeah, that's real. That honestly, more stuff like that happens than people realize. But wasn't that? That got quoted.
I'm not knocking it. I thought he did the right thing because he's telling kids. Y'all think y'all going to? He said, if you want to get to the league, You got to guard me. And can't none of y'all motherfuckers guard me. You got to guard. I dropped 40 and 50 in that league. I was at 30 a night in that league. And you think you can go to the league? I think more talk like that needs to happen. We are so pussyfied as a society. Another quick sidebar. Fat Joe and Ja Rule versus last night. Did you hear about this? Where Fat Joe had to apologize for calling Vita and the Murder Inc. girls dusty ass itches. And I get why people are upset because we pussyfied. But wasn't there a time in rap battles that anything can be said and anything, as long as it wasn't about like somebody mama or something, right? You know what I'm saying? Like if you're doing rap battle and you got some chicks with you, I'm gonna call them what I said. We rap battling. And he had to put out an apology, and I'm just like, And there's some people that made a good point. Maybe he didn't have to say it, but he did. And he probably said it because he felt like I'm in a there's bloody. This is verbal war. This is a rap battle. So yeah, I called them some dusty ass. But they should know he don't think that's in the Locks Dipset verses. When Jewels walked out, Sheik Luch was like, "Look at this pretty ass igga here. Look at this pretty ass pussy ass." And the crowd was like, "Whoa," because them is fighting words, right? Them is normally fighting words. You call me a pretty pussy ass igga, like, hold on. But you saw Jewels just walked off with it, kind of. Sheik was doing that because it was a rap battle, dog. So anyway, I'm sorry. I had to throw that out there. Podcast. I got a new podcast that starts Friday night called VJ's Reality Check with Nadia D for Delicious. It's my homegirl from back east. It's all social. It's all just social topics like that. You know, like one of the questions for Friday night is, "Was Fat Joe wrong?" and shit. So it'll be all pop culture and a little social consciousness, but we're gonna have a lot of fun with it. I got a lot of my celebrity comedians lined up that want to come on and talk and just clown around, man, and just talk topics and stuff. So. Anyway, quick sidebar from that. Back to Bradley Beal and just the competitiveness today. I felt that when he said in the way, because I can see if he was some bum ass player in the league doing it, you'd be like, bro, like, come on, man. But it is a guy who drops 30 a night and who has handed teams 50, 40, and 60 in his career. And he's looking at some 15, 16, 17-year-olds think you going pro, bro. For you to get to the league, you got to guard me. And you can't, and none of y'all can. So anyway, I bounced that off of back to the Titans. If I can roll back that far, if I can roll the rear window down that far, the Julio call out. Anybody that thinks that he's the head coach, and Julio did some dumb shit that cost his team, and we don't know what's going on every day. We don't know how Julio's acting there every day. We didn't know what Brandon Marshall was doing until the clip came out. And remember the receiver drills where he's smacking the ball down? And then one time the ball came to him and he punted it because he wanted a new contract. T.O. got sent home and he's doing sit-ups and he's doing curls and shit with his shirt off in his driveway for the media. We've seen guys act a certain way only because the cameras caught them. And then we go, oh, that's why Andy Reid was such and such. Oh, that's why this coach was such and such. It's like, yeah, he's calling them out because he sees something, but I don't think Julio wants to be there. Your take on that? I don't think he wants to be there, bro.
I don't think he wants to be there. The way that one penalty, it's just. I hope it's not the end of the Titans relationship, but to me, that's what helped start it. And to go into that interview and come out like that with that type of energy, to think how you as Julio, if you're a Julio, how would you want to respond? And my thinking is like, how am I gonna play hard for this guy? And I might play hard for my teammates, but in the back of my head, like if you don't like your coach, you got it's all type of things. Where he's a professional, but at the same time, like was Randy Moss being a professional with the Raiders when he was jogging plays, taking plays off to make sure he's like, I need all the Raiders now. Give me all. Kerry Collins
leaving the field before the game was over.
Bro, that's Randy Moss. That's a guy that's on ESPN. You got Moss. a guy that's Hall of Famer, still Hall of Famer. He was jogging. Like he's the type of player where literally coaches were like, you need to play hard, you need to do all this, you need to be a great teammate, and be like, well, Randy Moss could be that jerk, and he's still going to the Hall of Fame because he's that talented, and I don't care if he's the biggest jerk on our team because he's that good and he's gonna ball out. But you brought up T.O. He was at that point. Was he DTO or was he starting to fade off to like he was good?
This was after the Super Bowl. This was the year after the Super Bowl. He was good and great,
but was he like 49er T.O.?
No,
that year, and he got hurt too.
Yeah, he got hurt. Yeah, he got hurt.
And he got hurt. So that changed the relationship.
I use that as an example, though, just simply because I've seen this with veterans before, and there are veterans who people think are just going to do so well. And the one that I think probably did the best was LaDainian when he got cut and he signed with the Jets. He ran for like 856 or something like that, almost 1,000. He never saw 500 yards after that. Like the Jets saw the writing on the wall. Bill Belichick has been notorious for cutting you, known to be cutting you a year early rather than a year late. And it's like the Texans, they paid JJ all that money, and JJ stole a lot of that money the last 3 years. He did win 3 Defensive Players of the Year, but that was eons ago. And as far as NFL years is concerned, that was a while ago, man. He's not that same guy. And I think, once again, over and under for me is 5 sacks this year. So Julio, to me, just kind of strikes me. He does not want to be. If he was a free agent, I guarantee you he would have never signed with Tennessee. If he was a free agent, he'd have never signed there. He got traded there. You went from Matt Ryan to Ryan Tannehill, like, you went from inside and don't listen. You went from Atlanta to Nashville.
Hey, how much better does Matt Ryan look than Tannehill, though? Do you think?
Listen, Matt Ryan there was a moment the other day where he's coming off the field. I think they went for it on 4th and didn't get it. The throw was just bad. And him and the coach, John, and him and the offensive coordinator, it looked bad. And I was ahead of the curve on this. Hashtag VJ Vernon Husky, Vessel Sports, ahead of the curve. I said 2 years ago they needed to trade him. You can see that Super Bowl, after that first year after the Super Bowl, I was like, okay, give him a chance to run it back. But the fact that they've looked the way they've looked since then, man, they've been 4-12. They've been 5-11. Like it's just way too much talent on that team. Quinn gets fired. Dan Quinn gets fired. He's supposed to be the defensive guru that was the coordinator for the Seahawks that won the Super Bowl with them and took them to another Super Bowl as the defensive coordinator. Gets the head coaching job there. And the defense goes in the total opposite direction the whole time he's there. Matt Ryan is trying to win games 38-35 on Sundays. I grew up a Dolphin fan, so I've seen Marino try to do it 30 to 50 times in my lifetime, man. I watched Marino lose 41-38 where he scored 38. But that's what their defenses look like. And then now no Julio. I thought that was a big mistake. I'm not saying Kyle Pitts is not the guy, and Kyle Pitts isn't going to be good. But Pitts, a lot of his highlights, he's wide open in those Florida tapes, or he's facing one-on-one coverage. You want to know why? Because Ladarius Toney's being double-teamed.
Right.
That's why.
Right.
And now in the NFL, I thought them trading Julio was just so bad because it was like, why would you give away the veteran that you could put right next to him in the locker? You could put him right next to him, and you can help that guy out. He can help him become a pro, show him how to be a pro. Yeah, I know. But
it's all, and you know what they said? It said, since the owner came out, it said, since we gave him the money, it just hasn't been the same because of how detrimental those negotiations were when they didn't give him that money. And they took all that time. And that's what it's player relationships. It's like, how do you get to let's say you have to get to C. You go A to C. How do you get to C? C's where everything's all good. The contracts are all good. Everything's all good. But when you have to go to B and you have to do all the work to get to C, it's called relationship building. And that's what coaches and GMs are supposed to do. When you belittle someone and you're like, I'm a leader, I'm calling you out, Julio, is that going to be good? Is that be good coaching to that player? And if you want to be in the good this, you want to set the tone for the whole team, that's fine. But just know that when you have a guy like, let's say T.O. Randy Moss, or like, let's say for example, you're going to coach them different, right?
Yeah.
And they're going to have a different leash, right? Because
Jimmy
they can probably do a little bit more, right?
Jimmy Johnson is famous for saying, "I don't coach Aikman and Emmett and Michael Irvin the way I coach the 52nd or the 53rd man on the roster."
Right. Because there's a reason why that's why he's in the Hall of Fame. Because you do stuff like that. That's what you got to coach like that. And there's a thinking when you coach when you coach. The plan is to get to plan C. It doesn't matter. It's like plan B. It's like, no, the people put their pride too much. It's like, I gotta get the job done. That's what matters most. How do I get the job done? How do I build this? How do I save this relationship instead of letting it deteriorate? And you let Tom Brady go to Tampa Bay because you can't save that relationship to give yourself a couple more Super Bowls. And let's just put it out there. He set up his contract to leave. So he set it up to where he's like, you can't franchise tag me. I'm gone. Let me give you these last 2 years. Because that's where our relationship was. Think about this. Why would you want to leave? Like, what did you have to prove? Why did you have to go to Tampa Bay? Relationship building. Even when you're one of the best coaches of all time, top 5 coaches of all time, you still got relationship built. It doesn't matter that you thought plan B was already working or you thought you were already at C. No, Tom Brady's like, we need to go back to plan B because I'm not happy. Now you need to put the work in. And Bill Belichick, in my eyes, he didn't get the job done. And he cost himself Super Bowls. And even though he'll be like, I got this many. Could have had more. And that's how small those little things. It's in Plan B. You got to do the work.
He's got 6. Brady's got 7. And if he gets 8, he is not only the GOAT quarterback, he's the GOAT NFL player of all time. We cannot discount 8 Super Bowls as a starting franchise quarterback into your early to mid 40s. We can't discount. We have to stop this defense, the kicker. When I hear professional people who are getting a paycheck on national radio say that Vinatieri won those Super Bowls, it lets me know where we are in this industry. There's not a kicker alive that has ever won a game, ever. You kicked the game-winning field goal. You didn't win the game. There's a difference. Just like guys in the NBA, Kobe has hit a lot of game-winning shots. But Robert Horry has hit a lot of shots that won the game. You see the difference there?
Right.
A kicker ain't never won a fucking game. You don't do nothing but kick. You made the game-winning kick. That's some psychological philosophy shit I just threw on y'all right there. Stop saying, well, the kicker won the game. No, he didn't. He just made the game-winning kick. Like the game-winning run. They don't go, Molina or Bellinger for the Dodgers won the game. No, he didn't. He hit the game-winning walk-off. He scored the game-winning run. He didn't win the game because he didn't play the shit by himself. So he didn't win the game. A kicker doesn't do nothing but kick. So when people try to do that to Tom Brady, I get the sports guy bar or sports bar guy. I get, New Englander. You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady's an unstoppable force in nature. The New England Patriots, they're the best team ever. I get that. I get that guy. But when you're getting a paycheck from 3 and 4 letter networks, and I hear guys say this stuff. My man Rob Parker is my boy. You guys have seen me over on Fox Sports Radio filling in for Rob and on shows with him and Chris Broussard on The Odd Couple, among other shows over there. VJ, you're wrong. Tom Brady's no good. He's overrated. He's the Robert Horry of the NFL. The kicker won those games. He didn't win. It's like, bro, stop. What happened against the Giants? Against the Giants, they had a good pass rush up the middle. Brady's not a scrambler. That's the game plan. Everybody doesn't have Michael Strahan and JPP and those guys up front. Those 2 times he did. What happened to the Eagles? I mean, he threw for 500 yards. He scored over 35 points. What the fuck else you want him to do? But LeBron can have a triple-double. He can have 42, 15, and 12, and people go, he needs help. Brady against the Eagles threw for 500 yards. Bill Belichick, you sir, your defense. And then Brady goes against the Rams 13-3. Oh, he couldn't score. He couldn't move the ball. That's Wade Phillips over there on the other side, sir. another certified legendary defensive coordinator. Mark it down. He'll be in the Hall of Fame one day.
Right.
Bum is that Bum never made it in, but Wade's getting in. Wade's getting in the Hall. Yeah, Wade's getting in the Hall. We're gonna start to see a run. I think we're gonna start to see a run on coaches in like the next 5 to 6 years.
They're still catching up. It's tough. NFL's tough. When you get to the 100-year mark, and that's why baseball and NFL are a little like they're ways away at basketball because basketball's still they're still not in the 100 yet. Once you get to the hundo, the Hall of Fame. There's a lot more that need to come in, and it's like, what did Bill Cowher just get in? Whoa.
Yeah, I did the interviews over on NFL with the NFL front office. Yeah, I did the interviews over there. I got a chance to get on those rooms. It was Cowher. Cowher's the coach that got in. Flores, your former Raider coach, got in. Jimmy Johnson, another point. So 3 coaches this year. Drew Pearson, who probably should have been in already. But I'm trying to figure out how's Drew Pearson got to wait this long. But John Lynch gets in before the same year. But as far as the waiting game, right? John Lynch, and listen, he was a fun interview. You could tell he was soaking it all in. He was at his house in his office with all his football memorabilia. I love it. His Oakwood like built-in shelves behind him with the different helmets and trophies and plaques and awards and all that stuff. That'd probably be the former player I would be. Like, I'm gonna sit in my shrine of shit that I earned playing football and bask in the glory. So he was a great interview. It was great to talk to him. But as I'm sitting there, I'm like, damn, John Lynch though? Like, it almost didn't feel right because it's like, yeah, maybe there's some other guys that probably should have gotten in before John Lynch. I got the list right here because this is the same thing I did my notes out of. Steve Hutchinson, Edgerrin James, Jimmy Johnson, Troy Polamalu, Donnie Small, who was a HBCU guy, went to South Carolina State. Also Deacon Jones and a lot of other guys from Mississippi Valley State. Had a career of 51 interceptions, 5-time Pro Bowler, 4-time Super Bowl champ with the Steelers. Charles Woodson, Peyton Manning, Alan Faneca, Tom Flores, Megatron, John Lynch, Drew Pearson, and Steve Atwater were all the guys that got in or that were enshrined this year because they did enshrinement for last year on the Friday night, and then they did the other enshrinement on the Saturday night. So they did 2 of them this year. But I think we're going to start to see a run on coaches. But back to the Vrabel thing, I think you're right as far as building relationships. That's a great way to put it. I didn't mind it though because he does come from the Belichick tree. He's not going to massage Julio's ego. Just like I love Flores. I love Brian Flores as a coach. He's not massaging anybody's ego. He's not going to give you guys a whole bunch in the media. And if he's got to go at a guy, he's going to go at a guy. But I think he realizes he don't want to be there. This is also it too. You don't have any championship experience, and in the game you do, you're up 28-3 against us, and you lost. Take it from a guy who's got 3 or 4 of these things. What's Vrabel? Got 3 of them? Probably. Right? Vrabel's been there. He's there for about 3 of them. Vrabel's got 3 he can show them. This is how we do it. This is what we're trying to do here. You think everybody always wanted to be in New England, but they fit in. You think everybody always wanted to not have no fun? People have said it, right? Playing for New England, it ain't a lot of fun. You don't get to be yourself. You don't get to do crazy shit. In the offseason, the craziest thing Grunt was able to do was have a boat party on the cruise and shit and be dancing on stage with a bottle of Patron with his shirt off.
That reminded me, I had to bring that one point up. You talked about, like, you know, players partying and all this. Like, why do you think Gronk gets the pass when it came to all that through his career? It was just because
he's the white frat goofy guy, and we always love that guy. He's a young Al Bundy, and who doesn't love Al?
I love Gronk. He's a great entertainment.
He doesn't bother me. Gronk doesn't bother me.
So is it as long as it's to like that level, it's okay for everyone else? Like if everyone had that same Gronk mentality, would it be okay?
No.
That's what I meant. That's what it wouldn't be okay.
No. Because he is, and I'm not saying that he's dumb or doofus, but he's the college Animal House Stifler, doofus, goofy, bigger than everybody, but he's also great at his job on the field. If he was average, or if he was some Rudy Poo Candy ass, some Johnny Come Lately ass guy, no. But because he's so great, he can be that guy, but because as he's viewed off the field, we kind of like that. I think he's able to get, but like I said, I give him props because I think he probably could have done a lot more wilder shit that got caught on camera, but he knew he played for the Patriots. Listen, remember, Randy Moss is the same guy that said, yeah, I mean, in the offseason, I smoke a little weed. In the offseason, I want to hit a little bud. He said that shit in an interview. I smoke a little weed. But when he got up there, I guarantee you it was told, we don't do that here. We don't. And at that point, he wanted to win. At that point, Randy was ready to win. It was like, I got Tom Brady. Remember, Bill Belichick has been quoted as saying he was so smart. His first day there, he goes, we're standing out. If you watch the NFL Network show where they're picking like the top players and they have him, Parcells, and some of these other legendary coaches and other players sitting in there talking about it. They're all sitting there watching the screen. Belichick is there for the episode of Randy Moss. He goes, the first day of practice, we're standing out there, and he's like, we're going over the offense, and he's like, well, yeah, because on some of these formations, the safety will be one over the top. He said, Randy stops you right there and say, hold on right there, coach. There's something we'll never see again as long as I'm here. We ain't never going to see one safety over the top ever again. Trust me on, because who plays one safety over the top with Randy? But he was that confident and that smart to know, no. And this is Belichick saying to him, he's like, no. He said, don't worry about it, coach. We ain't never gonna see one safety again. I promise you that. They need to put two. And with two safeties and all the attention on him, he caught 25 touchdown passes in 1 year. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. I see you rubbing your eyes, man. I know it's late for you. You know me, I'm a night owl. So let's jump on the Patriots just real fast, man, before I let you go. And I'm gonna keep on rolling. But the Patriots, talk to me how you feel about New England. It's this. I mentioned this is probably the year we need to give Sean Payton his flowers, and Belichick has been that guy. But there was an NFL former player quoted, said, "Without Tom Brady, he's just another coach." Ouch.
He might just be another top defensive coordinator with that type of luck, and honestly, he hasn't really developed any offensive gurus like that. He may have inherited some, but I don't think he's ever trained. He might give you the defensive game plan, maybe the overall head coaching game plan, but we've seen a lot of Belichick coaches fall off real quick after they left.
Not a lot of them. Most of them.
Most of them. Yeah, I'll try to be nice. You know me, it's 1:37 a.m. on the West Coast. I'm trying to be a little nice, but hey, my East Coast people waking up, I gotta get aggressive. Yeah, it is.
Exactly. we got East Coast fans tuning in now that's waking up early back east, man. So we gotta let them know how we do it out here on the West. You see how I started it with the West Coast Easy E shit.
Oh yeah, I heard that. I was getting pumped. Yeah, I was all right, let's go. Go. Yeah, but so the Patriots, going even more on the Patriots, Mac Jones, I would have preferred if they just stuck with Cam, like the plan was supposed to be, give themselves the best opportunity to win, and for Belichick to be the guy that is worried about fan pressure on his first-round QB. Because realistically, isn't your team all in line the Patriot way? So why are we worried about Cam Newton and the Aurora, like the diva I'm having to hear, which is BS, very much BS. Like, just tell me, like, I don't want to win this year. I don't want to win this year. Just say that.
Especially when last year, all the praise they heaped on him for the leader that he was.
Threw it out the window. I literally think about this. I'm telling you this right now. How much are free agents going to not sign the Patriots for how dirty they did Cam?
Yeah.
Free agents might fall for the money, but get this. Now you're going to go. I'm telling you, player relationships. Bill Belichick is losing, bro. And other head coaches, Sean Payton, everyone else is like, this guy's losing. He's losing it. He doesn't have Brady no more. He's drafting a rookie QB, and he cuts the better QB because he's scared his rookie QB can't handle the pressure of having Cam Newton breathing down his back. Bro, you're NFL QB. Everyone's breathing down your back. The sophomore at USC or Alabama, Clemson, whoever it is, they're getting ready to take your spot. So everyone has the breathing down your neck. It's called father time. Like, you don't get to say in the NFL their whole life. No. It's gonna come. Brady is gonna come too. Father time's gonna get you. So don't tell me that you're worried about a rookie QB having a Cam Newton breathe down his back. How about give Cam Newton a chance to battle for a chance to play on a good roster? Since last year, all your people, the Patriot way, they sat out and they were like, "We're not winning this year. We're taking the year off. We're recovering our bodies long term for our career. Because screw Bill, I'm worried about me. I don't care. The whole COVID thing exposed the Patriot way, and it's exposing it. And the Tom Brady leaving was like oh wow, I think we've been missing a lot here. That's been kind of Tom Brady covering it up and making everything look a lot better than what it really seemed like now.
Well, yeah, because he's making Tampa look more than what they really. I don't think Tampa's a great football team. I just in the clutch, you have Brady, and the defense did what they was. Brady damn near carried you guys there, so maybe there is a game where he's going to throw some picks in the playoffs. He threw 3 in the conference championship game. Okay, that defense won. The defense. I'm so tired of players being punished for the other side of the ball doing their damn job. I get so sick of hearing about what a defense is. A defense is supposed to stop the opposing team, assholes. I get sick of hearing that. I get sick of hearing, oh, well, such and such hit the shot. It's his job. Did you pass him the ball? He's supposed to hit that shot. Like, that's his job. Only certain players get knocked for playing with other great people, and only certain teams, for some reason, get knocked.
Get this with the Cam Newton narrative. Like, did he really even get that good of a chance this preseason? It was almost like the Patriots set him up. And then get this, you had the offensive coordinator like, don't even worry, y'all. Cam Newton starting. Like it almost like, okay, he let it slip. And then
in the last preseason game, they played him with the ones. They started him and then cut him 6 days later.
Mind blowing, and that's where I believe the Patriots organization is slipping, man. And I know you are smiling. You're trying not to smile. I know the Dolphin fan in you is trying not to smile because you know the Patriot way is all coming to an end. That Death Star that's been holding the Dolphins back all these years, it's over. And went to Tampa, and we realized, like, wow, it really was Brady that was just saving Bill all this time. And that's gonna show on Brady's legacy a lot. And first of all, there's still two of the best at what they do. I'm not gonna forget that, but let's also not forget that Brady's winning that battle between them.
Yep. Sage, tell everybody where they can find you, man. I'm gonna let your little sorry ass get out of here and go to sleep, sucker. Look at me, I'm rubbing it. Look at you.
Hey, man.
Come on, man. Real G, you gotta catch up, bro. Real G. I'm about to go probably for like another 45 minutes, an hour. But you go because I want to get to my picks from week 1 and how well. Y'all see all that orange? Y'all see all that right there? Yeah, y'all see all that orange? Those are all wins, baby. Those are all wins this weekend. Tell everybody where they can find you, Sage.
Hey, you can find me at Twitter at SageUp. Facebook, you can add me as a friend at Sage Alvarez. And man, almost a pleasure to be on tonight, man. Thank you for inviting me, and we'll talk soon, man.
Always, man. Good luck this weekend with your Raiders, man.
Oh, and one more thing. I forgot to promote. I gotta promote this. So it's brand new, so I'm still used to it. Promoting for my new the sports talk show I'm on Today's California, Today's Canada, and CoachellaValley.com. Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 12:30 Pacific. And doing a big time, those are big time accounts, and met some great people through there. I mean, they had like 284,000 followers, 113,000 followers, 113. Like those pages are growing, and I'm happy to be part of helping their brand grow, and they're gonna help me grow. And we're gonna get some quality guests. We're trying to get you on there for sure.
Yeah, bro.
You know, I already know. I already sent the text. We're gonna get him. We're gonna get him on soon, and just like this is one of the early ones we're trying to get on.
Yep. So, let's do it, man. My man Sage Alvarez shaved up. Y'all see the name there, man. Make sure you follow him on Twitter and all his social media. Appreciate you, homeboy. Next week, you know I'm talking shit. We about to after y'all get past this game this weekend, we about to beat the shit. Miami coming out to Vegas. We giving y'all work. We gonna beat y'all again. You gonna owe me another sandwich in the ginger ale. I'll let you, Playboy.
All right, bro. Have a great night, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Always, baby. I got to get to these picks. My man Sage Alvarez, man. I want to thank everybody for watching VJs on Sportsmanlike Conduct live on Spreaker.com, listening on Spreaker.com, and iHeartRadio. I want to thank all of my fans that are watching and all the supporters watching on my YouTube channel and on live on StreamYard, and everybody that's still hanging in over here on my IG. We just crossed over the 2-hour and 20-minute mark. So I've already talked about my conference championship games. I've already picked all my division winners. I've already picked all my wildcard teams. If you need a quick recap, in the NFC, Bucks, Packers, Rams, Giants, Niners, Vikings, Cowboys, and the Seahawks round that up with the number 8 seed. Then the AFC, I'm going Chiefs, Browns, Titans, Dolphins, Ravens, Bills, Broncos to round out with the 8 seed there. My AFC championship game, I think it's a rematch of Arrowhead from week 1. It's going to be the Cleveland Browns against the Kansas City Chiefs, with the Browns coming back and winning that game and avenging the 2 previous losses there, because you learn from your experiences there, get to the Super Bowl. And the Rams in Tampa Bay, the Rams go to Tampa Bay, and that defense just does something. And Matthew Stafford has the weapons. The secondary is thin with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and week 1 is going to be thin the rest of the year and late in the year if other injuries pile up on that D-line and the linebacker core. And my Super Bowl would be right here in SoFi for the second straight year ever, second time ever, but for the second straight year in NFL history, a team will be hosting the Super Bowl. And that'll be the LA Rams and the Cleveland Browns. Haven't picked my winner yet, so there we are right there. My records for my team so far, also, we got all of that, get all the stuff down. We'll talk a little bit about week 1 also. In the NFC East, I got the Giants at 11-6 winning that division. That's because I took the $1,000 bet for the plus 375, get you $5,000 back. Cowboys 10-6. Philly at 7-10. That might change. Washington 6-11. They still don't have a quarterback, but Heineke is much better than Ryan Fitzpatrick, a.k.a. Juggles. AFC North, I got the Browns 13-4, Ravens 13-4, the Steelers at 7-10, and the Bengals at 4-13. They'll be drafted in the top 5 once again. AFC East, my Miami Dolphins 12-5 winning division. Bills 10-11-6. The Patriots at 10-7, and the bum-ass Jets at 3-14. Over in the AFC South, Tennessee, because the division is so bad, 12-5, Colts 11-6. That's going to probably drop down a little bit. Texans at 6-11, that can flip. And the Jags with Urban Meyer are bad. They're going to be bad. They're going to continue to stay bad and be bad. I got them at 2-15, 3-14, somewhere in that area. AFC West, more interesting than people think. I think the Chiefs are going to win it at 15-2. Just too many weapons regular season. There's a lot of teams that they get to play at home because they are the defending AFC champions. So they do get some of their favorable, tougher matchups in their own building. As the year goes on, it gets cold out at Arrowhead, and it gets very loud at Arrowhead. And you got Pat Mahomes, Kelsey, Tyreek Hill, Edwards-Helaire running back, and then you still got the big red, the big jacket, man. Still got Andy Reid there and Eric Bieniemy. Eric Bieniemy, quick sidebar, do not take the USC job. That's a terrible job right now. It's a great job for college football, but would you rather go to USC and have to try to rebuild that shit? Or would you rather stay with the Chiefs and possibly get an NFL job, or just go to the next 3 or 4 AFC championship games or Super Bowls? Because that's how good that team is right now, especially when you got a quarterback like Pat Mahomes, Mr. State Farm. When you got a guy like that, you're probably going to go deep in the playoffs, right? Why would you want to leave that calling the plays there? Broncos at 10-7. That's my surprise AFC team that gets to the playoffs this year. I like the Raiders at 10-7. I think that was a great win for them Monday night. We'll see where they end up for the rest of the year, though. The defense is still going to be a question to me. Top 5 scoring offense, top 10 offense by yards. They can move the ball up and down the field. A couple of running backs, got a few receivers, and their tight end might be the best tight end. I know everybody loves Kelsey, but Waller, wow. And then the Chargers finished that division up at 8-9. Over in the NFC South, I'll take the Bucks at 15. I'll take the Bucks, at 14-3. And behind that, I got the Saints at 9-8, Falcons at 8-9, and the Panthers at 7-10. I think the Panthers are going to be a 2 or 3 win team. They're going to be worse than people think. And I think the Falcons are going to be worse than my 8-9 pick that I initially threw out there. But I'll stick with my pick because I don't want to change because after week 1. But man, that does not look like a good situation down there in the Mercedes-Benz Dome in the ATL. Packers up north, I think 14-3. Don't worry about that game. Could have been an anomaly. I don't think it was a fluke. I just think it's a trend of how they play and how they've looked in recent years and how they will continue to play and how they will continue to look in recent years where they have some of these games where they just don't show up. They're still good enough to get to the division round, the conference championship game. This year, I don't think they get to the conference championship game. No, I think they lose in the divisional round because my conference championship game is the Rams and the Bucks. So they don't get there for a 4th straight year. But that doesn't mean that week 1 is what they're going to be. I think it was just an anomaly and just something that just happens. We've seen this happen with them, and we've seen that same team win 11 or 12 games in the 16-game season, 17 now that they added 1 on, making all that extra money, all that loot. Vikings at 10-7, the Bears at 6-11, and the Lions at 4-13. Lions could be 1-16. They might lose every game this year. That's just a bad football team. Jared Goff. Wow. Number 1 overall pick. 5 years later, Detroit. That's like going from Beyonce to like Caitlyn Jenner, right? And that what you call him? Something. And Caitlyn, the guy that changed that's like Beyonce to him. That's a big change. Let's just say it like that. At best, man, that's a huge change. But like I said, they definitely could go winless this year or 1-16. And last but not least, the NFC West. I got the Rams. I'm all in the Rams all the way to Super Bowl. Love the defense, love the linebackers, love Jalen Ramsey out there on the perimeter. And Matthew Stafford, been watching him since West Texas High School. Georgia playing for the Bulldogs in between the hedges. I believe he will erase the entire Detroit memory from everybody with 1 year. If he can get to that Super Bowl and somehow in SoFi Stadium in their own backyard, win that bad boy out here, LA gonna be popping for the Super Bowl. I want to be in the midst of all of that shit. I'm trying to be at parties. I'm trying to be at events. I'm trying to be at a few tangs, a few little tang. Oh, it's gonna be cracking out here for the Super Bowl. Niners at 12-5. I think they got a great defense. And whether you play Trey Lance or you play Jimmy Garoppolo, Deebo Samuel, turn the hand the ball to Mitchell, do some things on offense. They lost Moret, how you pronounce his last name? He's gone for the year or gone for most of the year. He also missed a lot of time last year, like 10, 12 games last year. So he was already hurt before trying to bounce back. But you got some other pieces you can plug in. You still got George Kittle. And you bring Bosa back on defense, and they got Solomon back on the defensive line too that missed all last year with a torn pectoral muscle. So I think San Francisco can win some games. I don't think this division is hard as people think it is. Seahawks at 10-7, Cards at 10-7. Seahawks beat out the Cards. No one finishes under 500 there. The Cards just surprised me because they're 25 points per game. That's 6th in the league, and number 13 in defense. But you just figure out where these losses are going to come from as opposed to where their tough wins are going to come from. The Cardinals are a team that'll lose a game they should win and win a game they should lose. But when you do that, you're going to hover around just under, right at, or just over 500. That's why I have them at 10-7. So those are my division records for everybody, and those are my division picks and playoff picks. Some of the other teams that I haven't got a chance to talk about that I do want to dive into here a little bit. Talked about the Cards. We hit on the Niners and the Rams and the Seahawks. Packers, Vikings. The Vikings are a team that's very interesting. You have Dalvin Cook. I don't think Kirk Cousins is as bad as everybody else thinks he does. I don't hate Kirk Cousins as much as everybody else seems to. Throws efficiently last year, over 4,000 yards, 30-something touchdowns, only 13 interceptions, 11 interceptions or something to that effect. Dalvin Cook, probably the best complete back in football. Jefferson, Thielen. A game like that Bengals game, though, they got to win that game. They've got to win that game. You cannot lose that game to the Bengals on the road, who is going to be another bad football team this year. Defense needs to step up. I know last year, 29.7 points against. That was 4th worst in the league. 26 points per for themselves. 26.9, so 27. That was 11th. They can score. It's not Kirk Cousins. He's putting up almost 30 a Sunday. It's not Kirk Cousins. Their defense is giving up almost a 30. There's the problem. But you remade that entire secondary, shipped everybody away. Xavier Rhodes, the kid out of Florida State, was playing with. What'd you cut him for? You're bringing in Patrick Peterson. Listen, Jamar Chase put him in the blender on Sunday twice. They called him on for a touchdown. I think there's a team that is just intriguing to me, and I'm trying to really figure them out. They have a tough schedule, and not do they only have a tough schedule, they just have a tough opponent even coming up soon. You go on the road to Cincinnati. You really think and hope you could get that win from Cincinnati. You really think you could go in there and beat a team that lost their quarterback and was 1-8 when they lost the quarterback, and is not a very high-profile, proficient team. You really hope you can go in there and get that game, but they don't. They go in there losing overtime. This run that they're on next for the next 3 weeks, Cardinals, Seahawks, Browns. They could start off 0-4. You start off 0-4, it's over. Lions and Panthers before a bye week, and then Cowboys, Ravens, Chargers, Packers, Niners, Bears, Steelers, Lions, and they finish up their last 4 bookend Chicago week 15, Chicago week 18 between the Rams and the Packers in 16 and 17. I got them at 10-7, but the 10 games that they got to win, you got to beat the Lions twice. You were supposed to steal that Bengals game. You got to beat the Panthers. You got to beat the Chargers. And you got to try to steal both those Bears games. And maybe you could get a Packer game. Maybe. If the Packers aren't right, it gets you to 10-7. But that's where I'm looking at. As a team that no one's really talking about. We're still trying to figure them out. I heard Keyshawn Johnson on ESPN Radio speak about them. I heard Freddie I forget his name, man. Freddie Coleman from ESPN. I heard him speak about them too. There's some people out there that's kind of intrigued about this team. Because once again, they averaged 27, but they give up 30 last year, right? 142 a game on the ground. That's fifth. That's fifth in the league. 250.6 through the air. That was 14th. It's not the offense. It's definitely not Kirk Cousins. The Bears are interesting to me if they're gonna play Justin Fields. If not, Andy Dalton, I have no interest in them. I have no interest in the Lions. If the Bears play Justin Fields, you have my full attention on the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears are a bad football team this year. That's 6-11. Where I got the Bears? Yeah, they're 6-11. They might be 5-12. The Bucs, we know who they are. I think we know the Panthers are. I think we know the Falcons are. The Saints are the anomaly in the NFC South. The Saints are they're the wild card. We got to figure out if this is real with famous Jameis Winston, a.k.a. Crab Legs. We got to figure out if this is real. I think it might be because it's with Sean Payton. If it was with some other team, you might just go, oh, well, the Packers just had an off day. But Sean Payton knows what he's doing. Sean Payton picked and started him over Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill got in. Every play he got in was a negative player, incomplete pass. He sucks. He's Tim Tebow 2.0. Stop this Taysom Hill shit, please. Defense is strong. Marshawn Lattimore gets his contract extension, gets paid his money. Watch for the Saints. NFC East, I still think the Giants win that division. They should have won it last year. Philly threw them a wild card. Cowboys defense, everybody, Dak's back. I get it. Dak's back. Dak's ready. Amari Cooper, 13 for 139, 2 touches. Thank you, fantasy. CeeDee Lamb, 100 yards and a touchdown. Gallup is out for 5 weeks, hurt. But they'll bring it. They got other guys. Zeke, though, is a problem. But this is Zach just going to be welling the ball around, flinging the ball around. This is Dak just going to be throwing. This is Dak just slinging this thing, man. Zeke went on vegan. He looked so lean. It didn't look hard and strong and thick in the Zeke Elliott he was before. He just doesn't. He got that money. He got that bag. He don't run as hard. When you get that bag, some players just aren't going to run that hard ever again. It's just what it is. I had Philly at 7-10, but I think Philly's going to be better than people think. I like Jalen Hurts. And once again, as I said earlier in the show, Devontae Smith is still a little light in the ass for me, but he can run routes. He's got great hands. He can catch the ball, and he's going to be a pro's pro. He's going to be a consummate pro. He's going to be a pro's pro. Washington still don't have a quarterback either with Heineke, and Ryan Fitzpatrick, a.k.a. Juggles, got hurt. Saved the Dolphins last year, my ass. My Dolphins win that division 12-5. Love the defense. Tua's going to be fine. Wait till we get all our weapons back. Wait till everybody comes back. We get Fuller back. That's going to stretch the field. Albert Wilson, we get back. That's going to stretch the field. Jalen Waddle, Devontae Parker. Guess what, guys? He's still their number one target. A lot of people don't like Devontae, and I get it. And they give him the extension because they had to give him they had to pay somebody. They had to use the money somewhere. He was the guy that was next in line. They gave him the extension. He's tough as nails, though, man. He's been banged up a little bit, but he still shows up and plays. I got games on in the background right now. This is actually the Raiders game. This is actually the Raiders game from Monday night against the Ravens. That's playing on the background. You guys can kind of see right there on my YouTube. Yeah, it's the Raiders game that I got playing. I kind of like that look right there with the we're gonna leave it like this for right now with the Raiders game in the background. We talking NFL. My man Moj 2000 over here. What's up? Blessings. LOL. Love seeing you do what you do, bro. Salute back to you too, Moj. I appreciate you, brother. NFL preview show, doing my sports thing, man. You remember how I used to get down. You remember how I used to get down over on the Michael Collier joint. You know what's up. You know how it gets down. But yeah, I like it like this right here. We'll leave it like this for the rest of the show, so people can see how I got the football on. I got the football on in the background while I'm talking football. That's how Stephen A. Smith would say, I'm watching his show. And he's got the football on while he's talking football. Now I said to myself, now why would he do something like that? You know damn well why you would do something like that. That's Stephen A. I don't do a good Stephen A. The one I do is Shannon. I do a good Shannon. Say, Skip. My mama, Skip. My grandmama used to tell me, you're either going to be a dog or you're going to be a goat. The only thing, Skip, the only difference, Skip, between the dog and the goat is the goat going to eat a can and the dog going to bark. Now, you go ahead and tell me something about that. Like, what the fuck does that mean, Shannon? The dog's going to bark and the goat's going to eat a can? That's how Shannon Sharp, and I love my grandmama too, but real talk, though some of his sayings be, Skip, my grandmama used to tell me, you can either walk with shoes on or you can put on some socks. Go ahead now, tell me what that is, Skip. Tell me what that meant, Skip. I don't know. Walk with shoes or put on socks? What? What's left? Barefoot? I don't know what the hell that means, Shannon. Goodness gracious, man. I'm sorry. Sorry I had to go there on my man Shannon Sharp, though, but that's wild, man. Bills, I got 11-6. The Patriots, 12-7. Some of their tough games, Browns, Bills, 2 of their 3 weeks, Browns, Bills, Titans, at the Chargers. At the Chargers, they should beat that team. They should beat the Chargers, but that is a West Coast trip that's flying all the way out here. That's going to be a tough game. You know the Chargers are going to be up for it. You got the defense. You got Derwin James. You got a defensive style coach. The head coach there was the defensive coordinator for 1 year at the Rams. Anthony Lynn was a defensive type of guy also, too. And now you're bringing a defense against a rookie quarterback and Mac Jones. Could be a loss late in the year. And then, of course, the bum-ass Jets, because they're just the bum-ass Jets. They always been the bum-ass Jets, and all they ever going to be to me is the bum-ass Jets. I got them at 3-14. I'm giving you 3 wins for them bum-ass Jets. You couldn't even muster up more than, 13, 12, 14 points against the Panthers? The Panthers couldn't muster no more than 19 against y'all. 2 bad football teams. AFC North, Browns 13-4, Ravens 13-4. That might change. They can't run the football. And look at my man Grudon. That's right. That was a touchdown call back. Touchdown with the review. Wins the game. Anyway, Steelers are 7-3. Big Ben's arm will fall off at some point. Is Najee that guy? Najee's that guy. This record will flip around to 10-7. He's good enough to win you 3 games. As a rookie, the way he runs, you can use him out of the backfield. You can line him up. You can throw him the ball. He's explosive. He's exciting. He's fast. He's powerful. I think he's good enough as a rookie to win you 3 games or contribute enough that it swings those 3 games, those swing games. It swings in your favor. You get the dub because you had a bell cow rookie back with fresh legs and a fresh body that ain't been getting beat up on in the NFL yet. And then, of course, the Bungles at 4-13, man. I'll move on to some of my picks. I'm sorry. AFC South. Titans at 12-5. Colts at 11-6. I think that'll flip around. Texans at 6-11. I think that'll flip around. And I think the Jags are a 2-15 team. AFC West. Chiefs at 15-2. Number 1 seed throughout the entire playoffs. Well, they don't end up playing the Super Bowl and two balls on a neutral site, so it's not like Major League Baseball, hockey, or the NBA. Broncos at 10-7. That is my surprise NFL AFC team that will make the playoffs this year. I love Teddy B. I hate the fact that they did lose. I hate the fact that they did lose Jerry Jeudy. We'll see how long that's going to be, and quick recovery for Jerry Jeudy. I hope he does recover quickly because they're going to need him. But also, I also think that that gives J.K. Hamler, second-year receiver out of Penn State, who's an All-American there. I think it gives him a chance to be able to shine and make some things happen there. The Raiders at 10-7. I got them over 500. I just think that they lose the tiebreaker with the Broncos and then the Chargers at 8-9. And the Chargers really worried me against Washington because I know Washington's got a good defense, but they couldn't move the football. If Washington doesn't fumble that ball inside like their own 10, 15-yard line, they don't win that game. They don't win that game at all. Back over here to my man Mojo. Moj 2000. I definitely got to show him some love. He said, I know a salute. Sage jumped in. Sage says, thanks again for everybody having me Tuesday. I appreciate you. Moj says, hi, yeah, Shannon Sharp is hilarious. Right? Steven says, if you talked about Dallas already, I missed it. Nope, I'll talk about Dallas for you right now, Moj, just to give you some love, man. Daft Cowboys. What they going to do, Skip? Dallas ain't going to do nothing, Skip. See what he did? See what Skip did right there? You see, I did that. He going to say, they ain't got nothing to do with it. They ain't got nothing to do with it, Skip. My grandmama once told me about the Dallas Cowboys, Skip. My grandmama once told me, you gonna root for the Dallas Cowboys. You're either gonna be a bag of Cheetos, or you're gonna be a bucket of lard. Tell me something, Skip. The fuck, Shannon? You know what? I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. If you say one of them more damn things, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. I'm just kind of joking. He kind of buff, but I'll steal him though. I'll steal him and run. You know what I'm saying? When he come, he told me to shut up. I'll be quiet. But soon as Shannon leave, I'll be talking again. All right, so let's go to the Dallas Cowboys for my man Moj. I have Dallas in where's my NFC East? I'll go back to my NFC East right here. Here we go. So Dallas, I have them at 10-7. I think they do make the playoffs. I have the Dallas Cowboys as in the playoffs as the 7th seed. I think the Giants win that division. They can score points. That looks good. I already talked about Amari Cooper, 13 for 139, 2 touches open a week. CeeDee Lamb, 100 yards. Tight ends. I don't like the running back position. Pollard needs to get more play. They already lost Lyle Collins. He's suspended for the next 4 or 5 games for smoking trees. They lost 2 defensive starters today, 1 for 8 weeks, 1 for the year. And at the end of the day, they still give up 30 points a game. They gave up 30 points a game last year. They still give up 30 points a game. They gave up 30 points a game to start the season. So at the end of the day, I like them at 10-7, Moj. I just don't think that, I've seen better, and I hate to say this, but this is the truth, and you'll agree with this, man. I've seen better Dallas teams finish 8-8. I've seen better Dallas teams finish 8-8. Teams that are better than this team. Romo, Dez, Marion Barber, who led DeMarco Murray, led the league in rushing. DeMarcus Ware, all pro rush end. Like they don't have those guys. When Sean Lee first got to the team, they don't have those guys. They don't have a Ware on defense. They don't have a Dez. I like Amari. I don't know if he's Dez. I like Amari. I know a lot of people like Zeke. Zeke. I get all of that, but I mean, to me, he's not DeMarco Murray. I don't even know if he's Marion Barber III out of Minnesota for the Gophers. Another Big Ten guy. So, and then also, too, I don't know if I like their schedule. I look at Dallas's schedule, and it kind of worries me because it's not the easiest schedule. They lose, they come out, and they have the Chargers, but the Chargers are going to be able to score against them and put points on the board because they give up 30. Then a division game against the Eagles. The Eagles have an offense. They should beat the Panthers, Giants, division game, Patriots, and then a bye. One thing that bothers me and scares me about them, their bye is early. Vikings, Broncos, Falcons, Chiefs, Raiders, Saints, Washington, New York, Cardinals, Eagles. So if you look at just their last from week 11 on, this is Dallas Cowboys schedule. Chiefs, loss. Raiders can score, top 5 offense, loss. Saints can score, top 5 offense, loss. Washington is sandwiched. Giants is sandwiched between 2 Washington games. So their rivalry game is 2 times in 3 weeks. 2 times in 3 weeks, they play Washington's defense with a Giant game squeezed in there, a Cardinals game right after that, and then they finish up with the Philadelphia Eagles. And that just screams with the team they have. That screams 10-7 to me. It screams 10-7 to me. I can't see nothing other than 10-7. I really can't, because once again, I've seen better Dallas teams. There was one year Romo and Dez and them got to like 13-3 or 12-4. But there are also years those guys were 8-8, and that team was better. I've seen better teams finish 8-8, Moj. So Moj still commenting here, man. Let me read all of these, man. Say, talked about Dallas, yes, sir. Said the Raiders are looking good too. Also, better than record your projected, in my humble opinion. So better than the record. Oh, you project better than the record you projected? Okay. And it ain't just your humble, it's your opinion, bro. You're allowed to have your opinion. Say it got me rolling and learning. That's a great combination. I appreciate that, man. That's what I try to do, baby. And giving up 30 points to Brady is not that bad. Oh, so now see, here come the Dallas fans. Well, giving up 30 to Brady is still 30, Moj. It's still 30, bro. It's still a Steph Curry. What's Steph Curry jersey number? 30. It's still a Curry, dog. I mean, it just is what it is. Some teams just are about this. You had a lot of teams that went out this weekend and did what their defense was supposed to do. Oh, they got a good defense? Good defenses did show up this past weekend to open the season. Bad defenses didn't show up. They're bad defenses. Dallas didn't do a lot to fix their defense, Moj. They didn't do a whole bunch to fix their defense, bro. And I like Michael Parsons. Tom Brady there's the one highlight with Michael Parsons and spinning around like a spinning top. When you're a kid, I'm old enough to remember the little spinning top. A kid wouldn't play with that shit nowadays. But he had him spinning around like a spinning top, man. So every team can't score 30 on Dallas. Okay, so obviously, ladies and gentlemen, Moj is a Dallas Cowboy fan. Moj, you want to come in, man? You want to talk? Let's see if you want to come in. You want to come in, bro? Hit my man says Chef Actor. Oh, Chef Actor. Hold on, man. Let me put this on. He said, "Who you got winning tomorrow?" That's a tough one tomorrow, man. Giants and the Redskins. I'm gonna say Giants, even though I did hear today that Saquon is marked to play. Saquon he's gonna give it a go. He was being marked as questionable. He is gonna give it a go. They're trying to work him in, but I didn't like how they said it. It was questionable because he's playing his second game in 5 days. Okay, if he's not ready off the ACL, then he's not ready off the ACL. If he's not ready off the ACL, he's not ready off the ACL, guys. Don't play him and then try to say, well, it's questionable this week because it's a short week. You knew it was a short week when the schedule came out back in April. You knew it was a short week then. So you had all this time to play. You could have said, listen, let's hold Saquon out the first 2 weeks because that first game the second game is a Thursday night. At least that way, he's got like 17 days from the first Thursday night game between the Cowboys and the Bucs till the third Sunday game to when we play again week 3. If we're 1-1, we're fine. If we're 0-2, okay. No 0-2 team last year made the playoffs. I get that. But once again, that division is freaky. We've seen Freaky Friday type shit. We've seen Freaky Jason, Freaky Deaky shit try to happen in that division, the NFC East. So those games stand for Washington and the Giants, the Giants and Washington tomorrow. I'll take the Giants in that game because I'm sure. I think the Giants defense will confuse Heinicke and Heinicke, he's not a world beater. He's not a world beater. So my man says every team's not gonna score. Moj said, I'll give Brady that though. No, sir, LOL. Just a football fan. Okay, well, that's what it is. I mean, you sounded like a Cowboy fan. Everything I said you went against. Normally, that's when a fan of a team does that. All right, so moving on. We covered the AFC East. Patriots 10-7. Like I said, they got some tough games. Browns, Bills, Titans at the Chargers. But I think they're 10-7. They got a rookie quarterback. I don't think Their defense will play strong because Bill Belichick will just demand that. But if they start running into injuries, they still don't have the weapons and the horses on offense to keep up. And we already saw what the Bills did last year. If the Dolphins get rolling or they keep growing the way that they're growing, getting some of their speed and deep threat back. As I mentioned, Albert Wilson, Will Fuller will both be back, both for deep threats. Jalen Waddle's a rocket. Gesicki, who only got 22 snaps. Smythe got 38 snaps, but they wanted to go for more of a blocking tight end against the Patriots. So that's I got that from a few sources. That's nothing to read into. Oh, Gesicki didn't get any. He only got one target. Or 2 targets and 1 catch up. Oh, no catches. My bad. Donut. Goose egg. Goose. Donut. Donut. That's my Homer Simpson. I don't know if it was good, but I like saying that. Donut. With the drool coming out. I love the Simpsons. I love Homer Simpson. So, and then, of course, the bum-ass Jets are just the bum-ass Jets at 13-4. Don't think they'll win more games than that. Now, on to the picks that I had this past weekend. I had a great past weekend. And some of the storylines that I had written down. So check this out. Some of the storylines that I written down before the season had started. Cam Newton being cut today and being cut in his remarks that day. Can the Bucks repeat? Rodgers in the pack. Is this good? Is this a goodbye or a new hello? Rookie quarterbacks, Trey, Whack Zach, Justin Fields, and Whack Mac. I call Zach Miller Whack Zach, and I call Mac Jones Whack Mac. So those 2 guys are whack. And I think Trey and Just Fields are the guys. And also Trev, but Urban Liar is just going to make that situation so bad for him that I feel sorry for him. Baltimore already had the injuries. Dobbins, Peters, Gus, Bateman, they're all out. Dolphins, Tua, Waddle, Fuller. What's that three-man look with the quarterback and 2 receivers going to look like? Browns, can they turn the tide? That was another storyline that I had, and I think the answer is yes. We already saw they can hang. They just have to learn how to finish, and I think they'll learn how to finish in the AFC Championship game. Pats, is Bill just a good coach without TB12? I also had the Raiders written down here. Gruden, $100 million. Mayock, Carr, the defense. Gunther out, Gus Bradley, the defense coordinator, in. Can he fix this defense? As you guys see, once again, I have the Monday night game on. The Ravens still had almost 30 points. And that's with no running game and no running back. They still almost put up 30 points. Can the Raiders win games like that all year long? We'll see. Some of my takeaways from week 1. Bills and Steelers. Don't buy the Steelers, but also be worried about the Bills. The Chargers and the Redskins game. I mentioned about the Chargers offense. They're fumble from the Redskins, fumbling inside their own 15-yard line, and them getting the ball and punching it in late in the 4th quarter from losing that game. The Chiefs and Packers, if you think about it, they were down 15-3 and 10-0 by the 2nd quarter. Chiefs came back and won. Packers got blown out. And then, of course, the bum-ass Jets are just going to be the bum-ass Jets. I would have stuck with Sam Darnold for another year. Got the offensive. Also, quick sidebar for them. Becton, their mammoth tackle, went down. Will he be okay and come back? And then Arizona, Kyler throws 4 TDs at Tennessee, and we saw what happened with Tennessee, and my reaction to that was simply just wow. And this was a team that I admit it, in the preseason I said I was worried about them because their first unit just could not move the football. Arizona's first unit in preseason could not move the football. And I said, I don't know what they're going to do in the regular season. Their first unit was 0-8 in first drives. They were 8 3-and-outs. 0-8 and 8 3-and-outs. And then, of course, famous Jameis, Tyson Suggs, Sean Payton coaching. And once again, I'm not buying the Steelers nor the Bills. Now, my picks from this past weekend cashed in really well, man. I did really good on my picks, and we'll touch on these, and then I'm going to wrap up this first part of the preview show. I'll be on tomorrow, so you guys can catch me tomorrow night right here live on StreamYard and YouTube. We'll do another 3 hours. We'll go more in depth into – we'll do a recap of the Washington Giants game, and then we'll get into week 2 picks. So first game I cashed in, I took the Cowboys with the points because the spread was 8+. And I just thought that 8 tells me Vegas thinks 10. And I didn't think that the Bucks were 10 points better than Dallas in his show because I thought Dak would come back and do what he did. Cashed in there. Took the Seahawks with the 3, cashed there. Took the Niners with the 7, cashed there. I took the Falcons, so I lost that game right there. The Eagles won. Took the Vikings with the 3.5, so I lost that game right there. Bengals won. Took the Packers with the 4 points. I think everybody did there. Saints pulled that off. Took the Broncos at the 2.5, won that. My big win, the Steelers game. Hunter got me 335 back, plus 6.5 with the Steelers. I just thought that was too juicy. Steelers, I know, can rush the passer, run the football, and just a touchdown just seemed a little much for me for week 1, where it's not bad weather and Big Ben's arm is fresh. So I cashed in there. Took the Titans with the +3, won that game right there. Took the Chargers, didn't get the 1.5, so I lost that right there. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Yes, I did. Chargers did win. Took the Panthers, but I didn't cash in on the 5.5 points. Had the Texans over the Jags. Had the Browns losing to the Chiefs with the 6. I took the Dolphins with the +3, cashed in there, and took the Rams with the 7.5, cashed in there. I had a phenomenal first weekend. So you guys all know, this is the part of the year I tell you guys, y'all know one of my nicknames is I'm Mr. 85-15. 85-15 means that 85% of the things that I predict when it comes to sports comes right. So every year I try to pick 85% of the NFL games and get them correct. And I keep a track of all my picks right here in this book, and we'll go week to week. Last year, I finished at 77%. I got off to a horrific start, and then I got on a great run. But by that time, I lost some important weeks, and I only finished at 76% last year after going 85% 3 straight years. So we got to get back to 85% this year. So that is this week. That's 1 win, 2, 3. That's an L. 4. That's an L. That's an L, so that's 3 in a row. The Eagles, Vikings, and Packers all let me down right there. But I won the Broncos, won the Steelers, won the Cards, won the Chargers, won the bum-ass Jets game, won the Texans, won the Chiefs, Jags. And I had the Rams and the Bears. I missed putting in for the Ravens and Raiders. And just to be transparent and honest, I probably would have put it on the Ravens, so I would have lost that one. So I'll give myself, just for you guys that don't want y'all to think I'm cheating, I'll give myself a loss for the Ravens and Raiders game because I probably would have put, if I remembered to write it down, I would have put the Ravens. So that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 wins first week, and 1, 2, 3, 4 losses, 5 losses. So 12-5 to start the year on my picks. Or is that 13-4? Sorry. 13-4 to start my picks. So 13-4. Remember to tune in, man. VJs on Sportsmanlike Conduct. Every week I will unveil my picks. I'll give my picks beforehand, and then we'll come back so people can go back to the film and be like, oh, no, he didn't say that back then. He didn't say that back then. Yes, I did. It's all right there on film. You guys can check it out. Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, Instagram, and StreamYard, and my YouTube. So 13-4 to start the year. I like that, and we'll do the picks after tomorrow's game. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and pick tomorrow's game now on wax. So I got it down. I'm taking the Giants. And let me see what the point spread is. I'll take the Giants tomorrow night. And actually, here's my betting app that I'm pulling up here. I know everybody's listening on Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio. Can't see. Depending upon the spread, 3.5 Washington in Washington. No full Saquon just yet, huh? You know what? Let me see what the money line is. Ooh, for the Giants, money line is 3.5. Oh, no, money line is 2.5. So 100 on the Giants gets you 150. So it'll get you 250 back in your hand. Put 100 up, get 100, get your 100 back plus 150. On the point spread, at 3.5, if you put 100 on the Giants on a point spread, it's only 83 back. So it's 183 back as opposed to 250 back. So close to about a $70 difference. Washington couldn't score, but neither could the Giants. But if I had to put it on who did I thrust? I thrust me. That's who. Who did I thrust? I thrust I trust the Giants. I trust the Giants defense. The Giants defense is gonna score a touchdown. That's what I think is gonna happen, man. I think the Giants are gonna come in there. The Giants are gonna come in. They're gonna look at you right in your face, and you're gonna say you're not gonna do nothing. You had a Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's gone, and now we have the Saquon Barkley back. He's gonna run up your ass, and then we have the receiver that throw the ball, and Daniel Jones. You better not throw the game when the defense gonna score a touchdown. So I'll go out on a limb here. Give me the Giants. Give me the 3.5, and I'm gonna make it juicy for y'all. Give me the Giants. Give me 3.5, and the Giants defense scores a touchdown. Y'all see that? Giants defense scores a touchdown. My man Moj said, my team is whoever Cam was playing for. What's your thoughts on Cam's future? I don't know, man. He said he's not retired, but I know there's not 32 quarterbacks better than Cam. I know every NFL team starting quarterback is not better than Cam Newton. Like Heineke is not better than Cam Newton. And here we are previewing. And Daniel Jones, 267 a touchdown. He had a rush TD, but he had a fumble in the loss against the Broncos. So, it's two 0-1 teams. Washington gets back-to-back home games. Giants got to go down there and play after having a home game and getting beat by the Broncos. I think the Giants take this game because I think they have the better team. I think they have the better team. Low scoring, 17-14, 17-16, 20-17, 26, something like that. This could easily be a 14-13 game or 13-12 game, or defenses punching each other in the mouth. NFC East, I-95 battle. I think, but I want to go with the Giants because I just think they have the better team, and I need the Giants to win because my 1,000 to get 5,000 back is riding on them. So I'll go ahead and put that pick down. We'll take the Giants. We'll take the points. G-Ben and the points. Okay, cool. So we're settled there. Also, too, for some of these other games, I'll just do a quick run through and preview while we're finishing up and wrapping up VJs on Sports-Like Conduct. Browns are getting 12.5 against the Houston Texans. Guys, take that right there, please. Carolina Panthers are +3. They're getting 3 points. New Orleans Saints are at Carolina. Division game. That's a 3-point spread. The Steelers are at home against the Vegas Raiders, 5.5. That could be a sucker bet. The Bears in Cincinnati and Soldier Field, that's a -1. Dolphins at home, they're a 3-point underdog. I'm going to go ahead and take that right now. 3-point underdog. We're 4-point or 3-point underdog last week, and look what happened. We're a 3-point underdog last week. Look what happened. I actually won 50 on this game. The money line is 2.60. Bam. Let's go ahead and do that. 100. I thought 100 gets you 260 back. They'll cover that right there. Also, their total points is over and under. Over under is 45.5 in that game. Let's take the over on that game also. We'll take the over on the Dolphins. Dolphins, I think, will take out the Buffalo Bills. The bum-ass Jets are home against the Patriots, so the Patriots get well and get better. That's 6.5 I actually like. So let's go ahead and take the Patriots with that 6.5. Patriots, and they'll cover. Jacksonville's at home. Broncos come down there after getting a big road win. Fly back home to Denver, then fly back out to Jacksonville. I know somebody that works for the organization. That's the only reason why I know that. 6 points there. I think they cover that also. Philly's at home. The Niners come out there, the defense and the gadget quarterback of Trey Lance playing gadget plays, and Garoppolo and Deebo Samuel. But the Eagles get home. Those fans are going to be raucous. They're 1-0. Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith. You still got that defense. You still got Fletcher Cox. You still got some ballers there. You still got some guys that can make a difference. The 3.5 points, that's a little juicy right there. Colts are at home. Rams go out there. I think the Rams handle them and take care of that 3.5. The Vikings are on the road against Arizona. I need the Vikings to win this game. If they lose this game, like I said, no team from last year that finished 0-2 made it to the playoffs. So if you're a Viking fan, you need them to get this win. But at Arizona, for what they just did at Tennessee, we've seen teams flip-flop back and forth, have a great week, and the next thing you know, they're out on the field, and you're like, that is not the same team I watched last week. You can also get something like that happening in that game. The Bucs are at home, 12.5 against the Falcons. I'd go ahead and take that. I think they cover. Chargers are at home against the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas comes out here, 3.5. Very interesting spread there. Seattle's at home against Tennessee, 5.5. And Baltimore's at home against Kansas City, for Monday night. Oh, excuse me, for the Sunday night game. That 3.5 next Monday night. I don't know why the hell the Packers and the Lions are on Monday Night Football. I'll never, ever, ever understand that shit. But hey, it is what it is. Next Monday night game is Houston and the Panthers. I'm not understanding what the hell they're doing there either, but everybody's got to play a division game. So great show, guys. Got everything wrapped up. So everybody knows my picks. Everybody sees exactly what we're doing here on Vets and Sports. I appreciate everybody tuning in, man. 3 hours. Y'all see how we do, man. Let me check my chat box here and my comment section on YouTube and see if anybody else is jumped in. Nope. Sage said, Sage, you killed it. Somebody else says, keep getting it, bro. So Sage got a lot of love from some people in here, man, that's in here to support him. And then everybody over here, my man, Donna Smith 07 over here says, what's up? She just joined the show too. We're 3 hours in, mama. You can see I don't know if you guys can see the clock and see the timer. We 3 hours in, man. I'm about to go make me a bacon and eggs sandwich. I'm hungry in a mug. And I had tacos before I got on air. Because when you talk on air, people don't understand the energy you use. You get hungry. You get hungry real fast, man. So, yeah, brother, about to close this show off. So everybody knows my picks, man. Like I said, all my divisions, all my wild cards, conference championship, Super Bowl, Rams, Browns, mark it down, man. VJ's Unsportsmanlike Conduct. I'm your host, VJ Vernon Husky, Mr. AKA VJ Wright, AKA the Big Vanilla Funny. Y'all know all the nicknames, man. I like VJ Wright. That's because I always think I am. One of my favorite ones to use. 8515. I want to thank my man Sage Alvarez from Sage Sports and Saged Up on Twitter for joining. I want to thank Damian Scott, Ali, everybody that was in here in the chat watching, man. Who else we got in here? Mo Money, E Money, Packers GOAT. Everybody that jumped in, we appreciate all the love on and all the interaction. My man Moj over here, Donna Smith, 071, Alex IUIW. She said hi. Hi, Donna. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, man. Catch me tomorrow night. I will be back. We will recap the Giant and Washington game. I will try to find some of my friends and sports talk people that are Giant fans and Washington fans to see if we can get them on. Mike Hill's a big Giant fan. Hopefully I can get Mike Hill to come on from Fox and from the Black News Channel and talk with us too, man. So enjoy the game tomorrow night. Everybody stay blessed, man. Thanks for listening. I'll holler at y'all, man. Peace. All right, so we are done over there on Spreaker.com and iHeartRadio. Great show, man. Appreciate everybody over there that tuned in on my my IG. Excuse me, that's IG. This is my YouTube, man. So like I said, bro, about to go make a bacon and eggs, and I'm hungry in the mug. And as you guys see, I got NFL Network over here. So I'm gonna sit back and listen to pretty dress. She fine. She is. Sorry. She's beautiful, man. See where they're getting all these new anchors and stuff from, giving them shows and stuff too. We'll talk about that on another show, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Peace. I'll holler at y'all. Tomorrow. Tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow we're back.